The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
High school football doesn't get much better than this, even by the exalted standards of Texas. Traditional powerhouse and defending champ Southlake Carroll and quarterback Kenny Hill are 2 games away from defending the crown. Upstart Desoto's lightning-quick offense with Dontre Wilson has produced an undefeated season. A matchup of high school juggernauts, but only one can advance. Southlake Carroll and Desoto collide now on Fox Sports Southwest. From the hilltop at SMU's Ford Stadium, it's the 5A Division I quarterfinal game brought to you by State Farm between the Southlake Carroll Dragons, the defending champs in 5A Division I, against the unbeaten Desoto Eagles. Roger Emmerich along with ND Kalu as we bring you what should be a great football game today. ND, looking at these top players today, Kenny Hill on the Carroll side, a very good quarterback.
Very good. That's an understatement. When you're talking about the Gatorade National Player of the Year, you have an exciting player playing that quarterback position. He can beat you with his legs, but what's exciting about him, he's also a natural pocket passer. So he's not one of these athletic quarterbacks that are a one-trick pony. He can do it all.
54 touchdowns out of the 90 that Carroll has scored this year. And for the Desoto Eagles, Dontre Wilson, 44 total touchdowns, 42 from the line of scrimmage, ND.
Speed. This is a track guy. He was on the state champion 4x100, but he's not a track guy playing football. He's a football guy who has track speed, and you will see some highlight runs today when you're talking about Dontre Wilson.
We have more coming from Ford Stadium in the 5A Division I quarterfinal game between Carroll and Desoto. To 35350 to enter the Fan Up Truck Sweepstakes. By DQ for the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas. DQ just tastes better. And it's the year-end celebration at your Texas Ford dealer. Enjoy great savings on the freshest lineup. Ford is the best in Texas. Down on the field now to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Roger. We're going to keep our eyes on Desmond White today, the quarterback of Desoto. I talked to him before the game. Hurt his knee in practice a few weeks ago, playing with a knee brace, but he says he is ready to go. Got banged up against Arlington Bowie last week, but he says he's determined to pull his team through and get on to the semifinals, a place where Desoto has never been before. These guys, they're ready to go. They're looking to get all their action out of the way and knock off Southlake Carroll today. Should be a good one, Roger.
Thank you, Knoxie. Desmond White and Dontre Wilson, the 2 biggest names for the Desoto offense. They'll go against a pretty good Carroll defense as well, and they'll have to be on that back end. Let's look at Coach Hal Wasson as ND. The Hal Wasson winning a state championship last year at the 5A Division I level over Fort Bend Hightower Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, they say one of the hardest things to do in Texas high school football, obviously win the state championship, but it's harder to even defend it because you have the target on your back. And Desoto, as they mentioned early on, they've never been to the semifinals, so they're really playing to make history today.
And on the Desoto side, Claude Mathis, the head coach for Desoto, with a 49-14 record coming in, including 13-0 this year. The Desoto Eagles winning last week over Arlington Bowie. A little bit lower scoring game for them, ND. 24-6 was the final, but they did get to rest Dontre Wilson in the first half of that game, which probably helped him out going forward.
Yes, they're able to rest their star player, but they also showed that they could play defense all year. All you hear about their offense, and they're a great offensive player. But last week they showed, you know what, we have a defensive squad also that can stop some teams.
Good linebacking play on that Desoto defense when you look at Vernon Johnson and Taylor Young, just to mention a few. On the back end, Nick Orr, the junior safety, hard hitter, his older brother Zach at North Texas. he's a guy that they really look to make the calls in that secondary.
Right, not just to make the calls, but when we talked to Coach Mathis, he really talked about Nick Orr. He said that he was their inspirational leader. He was the leader on the field. He made the calls. He was somewhat of a quarterback of that defensive backfield, and I can't wait to see him because you know he's excited. You know that entire team's excited about the big challenge they have ahead of them today.
And D, let's look at the brackets in 5A Division I as we see how things are going this weekend. A lot of good games, including this one right here at Ford Stadium, DeSoto and Southlake Carroll. Skyline and Allen a little bit later this afternoon at Mesquite Memorial. Skyline and Carroll played in the semifinals last year. North Shore and Lamar. Houston Lamar's Redskins undefeated at 13-0. And San Antonio O'Connor, San Antonio Madison. Jim Streety, longtime coach at Madison.
Right, when you look at this bracket, and if you follow Texas high school football like you and I do, you just understand the talent and you understand how good these teams must be just to get to the quarterfinals, then to go to the semifinals. You're talking about the elite of the elite, and it's going to be an exciting weekend. It's going to be an exciting playoff season for Texas high school football.
Al Wasson and his Carroll Dragons winning last week 16-7 over Trinity. They played that famous game at Texas Stadium 6 years ago in 2006 on the way to a state championship, when both were defending champs in Division I and II respectively. They drew about 49,000 that day to Texas Stadium. Carroll won the rematch last week, the first time they'd played in 6 years, winning at Bergville by a 16-7 score. You see the playoff results for the Dragons so far. Big numbers against Arlington Martin and El Paso El Dorado, and then the shorter score last week over Euless Trinity. Here's the national anthem. Well, it looks like some of the fog has burned off. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon for football. Roger Emmerich along with ND Kalu as we look at the DeSoto playoff results so far. Two big wins over Harker Heights and Coppell. ND last week, a little bit tougher game against Arlington Bowie, but the opponents always get tougher as you go deeper in the playoff.
They always get tougher, and like we mentioned earlier, we're going to talk a lot about these offensive stars, but when you look at these scores, 6 points, 14 points, 15 points, that lets you know DeSoto, they're doing what they're supposed to do on the defensive side of the ball. From whenever I played, whatever level, from high school, college to the pros, your defensive goal is always to keep them under 17 points, and you see DeSoto's achieving that every single week in the playoffs.
And ND, you, having played at San Antonio Marshall like you did in that state game against Odessa Permian, what are these kids feeling right now in this quarterfinal game?
Right now, butterflies, especially when you talk about DeSoto never being able to make it to the semifinal game. Southlake Carroll is pretty much just another game because they're such a strong program. And when I say that, I'm not saying that they're not excited, but they expect to be here year in and year out. But DeSoto, they feel like they have something magical going. And you know what? They don't realize it, but when we talked to them earlier, I told these kids, after 12 years in the NFL, 4 years Division I football, my fondest memories come from Texas high school playoff football. So they are living the dream right now, right?
Absolutely nothing like it. Ty Cummings is going to tee it up for the Carroll Dragons. Dontre Wilson, the amazing Dontre Wilson, will be the deepest of the three DeSoto receivers to receive the kick. Dontre Wilson with 44 total touchdowns, one of them by a kick return earlier in the playoffs. Here's the Ty Cummings kick, and we're underway in this 5A Division I quarterfinal game. It's taken on the far side, coming up to the 10-yard line, up to about the 20-yard line for the DeSoto Eagles. It'll be 1st and 10 for DeSoto as the Eagles will have it on offense to begin the game. Desmond White is the starting quarterback along with Dontre Wilson in that backfield, and a grouping of receivers, a very good grouping of receivers led by Brandon McDowell, number 6.
And as you see his numbers, when you talk about Desmond White, he's overshadowed by Dontre Wilson, one of the top recruits in the country. But Desmond White, he also can beat you with his arm and his legs. He's thrown for close to 3,000 yards, and he's rushed for over 1,000 yards. So he is definitely a dual threat back there.
Desmond White, the quarterback, is in the shotgun. 1st and 10 for Desoto from the 20, and Dontre Wilson in motion. He gets that handoff on the jet sweep. Comes across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. So a gain of 6 already. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Ford. As the Desoto offensive line looking pretty strong up front, ND.
Oh, they're very strong. Whenever you have good skill position and guys that put up big numbers, you have to credit the offensive line. I don't care how talented your ball players are.
Desmond White having trouble finding a receiver, and he's going to be down for a loss after the 6-yard gain by Dontre Wilson. Aaron Hoagland, the strong safety, comes up to meet him. The rest of the starting lineup now for the Desoto Eagles. You see the backfield with Dontre Wilson. Here's the 3rd down play for Desoto, 3rd and 9. Desmond White in the middle, throws it complete. Down at the 45-yard line is Kyle Collins. Kyle Collins, the senior, who caught a touchdown a couple of weeks ago in the win over Coppell, and Desoto in that hurry-up offense already getting close to midfield now at the 44-yard line.
Right, they're trying to catch Southlake Carroll's defense off guard. Right now, Southlake Carroll's defense, they don't have an answer for it, but they will make the adjustments. But you're right, they're running those plays very quickly, and so far it's been effective.
Gain of 23 on that pass play from Desmond White to Kyle Collins, who came in today, ND, with 27 catches, 461 yards and 5 scores. They really spread the wealth. Let's take a look at the Carroll defense, brought to you by Ford. That front 3, and really a rotation, but these are the starters: Joey DePinto, Nash Dickey, and Connor Page.
Anytime you have that 3-4 lineup, as you see the 4 linebackers, keep an eye on the nose guard, because he's going to have to occupy 2, sometimes 3 blockers to allow those athletic linebackers to move around the field and make plays.
Stephen Bergmark, the linebacker you see, number 40, had a big game against Trinity last week, including a clinching interception to end the game. And in the back end, Ray Crockett, the son of Ray Crockett, who played for the Bengals, Aaron Hoagland, Tanner Jacobson, a 3-year starter and captain, Darian Jones, the other corner. They're going to have to play well today against the speedy Desoto receivers and against Dontre Wilson to tackle him.
Yes, they're going to have to tackle him. They're going to have to use their body. They're going to have to gang tackle him. No arm tackles. And Ray Crockett, he has some big shoes to fill also playing with his
From the 44-yard line, Desoto will scrimmage with a 1st and 10, their first of the game. First possession of the game. Desmond White with the shotgun snap, but there's a flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So Desoto goes in reverse as they will have it back at the 39 now, 1st and 15. The officials today: Joe Horn is your referee, along with Rodney Johnson, Jimmy Evans, Rick Jasper, Arthur Williams, Stacey Hart, and Brandon Haley, our crew today, with Joe Horn the referee. And Desoto will have it 1st and 15 now from their own 39-yard line. Desmond White in the shotgun, lost a high pass, and it's Brandon McDowell. McDowell's going to score. A beautifully arched pass from Desmond White, a 61-yard touchdown, and Desoto's on the board first.
And like I said, even though Dontre Wilson is the big name, he's not the only name. Desmond White can beat you with his legs, but he showed touch on that pass, and he was under rush. He was under attack, but he kept his cool, and he didn't let it affect his throwing motion, and he put the ball right where it needed to be for McDowell.
Desoto likes to run this swinging gate on a possible 2-point try. Let's see how they do it. No kicker in the game, but a bad snap. Trying to pick it up is Dontre Wilson. Wilson trying to find his way to the far sideline. He's going to be down. So the score will stand at 6-0. Desoto leading the Southlake Carroll Dragons. Let's take the break from Ford Stadium at SMU. To Brandon McDowell, ND.
And when you talk about a quarterback staying cool under pressure, you see Desmond White was under pressure, but he did not change his technique, and he put the ball right where it needed to be. That was not bad coverage by Crockett, but that was a perfect pass. That's why DeSoto's starting with a 6-0 lead right now.
Desmond White, only 5'7", 150 pounds, dripping wet. He's a junior, but he has thrown for 28 touchdowns now on the year with only 5 picks. He has run for 10 scores. That was a 4-play, 80-yard drive for the DeSoto Eagles to open this ball game, and they have the early lead on the defending 5A Division I champ Southlake Carroll Dragons. Set to kick off is Roberto Hernandez. Carroll Dragons set to receive the kick. They use 3 of their wide receivers in the kick return formation. Ryan Weigel, Mike Gardner, and Tanner Jacobson. Here's the kick by Hernandez. And it's a squib kick, and it's taken right up the middle of the field by Tanner Jacobson. He's going to be down just short of the 29-yard line. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Roger, on that opening drive by DeSoto, give credit to that big offensive line at DeSoto. They call them the Big Uglies. They like to get in there, and they like to get nasty out of each other. They're averaging 290 pounds on this offensive line. Desmond White, a lot of time to get those passes off.
So Kenny Hill and the Carroll offense on the field. Kenny Hill leading Carroll to a 16-0 finish last year, including that state championship win over Fort Bend Hightower at Cowboys Stadium. Winning last week over Trinity 16-7. But trailing DeSoto 6-0. Hill back to throw on first down. Looking downfield. The pass is caught inside the 29-yard line of DeSoto. The pass is caught by Keaton Duhan, a junior who came in with 21 catches, and Carroll quickly up to the line to run the no huddle.
And again, we've talked about it earlier with guys having good coverage, but these receivers are still coming down with the ball because of the placement. 42
yards on the play. It was Luke Timian on the catch. Luke Timian on the catch, and Kenny Hill now with the keeper on the first down play. Carroll has it at the 25 of DeSoto. Kenny Hill with huge numbers. You might say Xbox numbers, ND.
Xbox numbers, but what really stands out, 26 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions.
28 rushing touchdowns for 54 total, and Kenny Hill is going to be snowed under. Back at the 34-yard line of DeSoto, a loss on the play on that second down 6. Good rush there by the DeSoto Eagle defense as they get Kenny Hill for a sack and a loss of 8 yards. Let's take a look at the offensive line for the Carroll Dragons, brought to you by Ford. Cam Manning, a 2-year starter, along with Alex Deutsch, also a 2-year starter. Kyle Arpaia, the center. Evan Brown, a dominant right tackle for the Carroll Dragons. Third down 15 for Carroll. And a new quarterback in the game is Ryan Agnew, and Agnew spins his way down inside the 5, almost to the goal line. It's going to be first and goal for the Carroll Dragons at the 1-yard line. Agnew in the game, the backup quarterback in place of Kenny Hill. Obviously a surprise to us, but also a surprise to the DeSoto defense.
And a surprise to us, like you said, when you talk about South Carroll, the depth. How are you going to take out the best quarterback in the nation and have a backup pick up a run like that?
And Kenny Hill walks in, standing up for the touchdown from a yard out. And the Southlake Carroll Dragons have answered DeSoto's Eagles with a score of their own, tying the game at 6.
And they just sent a message. They say we could go with you run for run, pass for a pass. And for them to score that quickly, DeSoto's going to have to make those adjustments on the sideline.
Drew Brown in for the extra point for the Carroll Dragons. He had 3 field goals last week in the win over Trinity, 16-7 at Birdville Stadium in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Here's the kick by Brown. And now Carroll has the lead over the DeSoto Eagles, 7-6. We'll be back with more from Ford Stadium.
And through the air.
First down play. Kenny Hill will keep. Hill at the left side, and Hill is knocked down at the 21-yard line. We're down to 39 seconds left here in the first quarter. It looks like DeSoto wanted a timeout as Kenny Hill took that shotgun snap. And DeSoto will get the timeout.
Prior to the snap, timeout, DeSoto. Please reset the clock, 43 seconds.
We'll see how effective this timeout is, but I think this was a good time to call it because the game's not getting out of hand, but the momentum is just slowly shifting to the Southlake Carroll sideline. They're getting so much they're gaining so many yards on the ground, through the air, and the offensive line for Southlake Carroll, they're really protecting Kenny Hill. So I like this timeout call to talk to the DeSoto defense and maybe make some adjustments to get more heat on this National Player of the Year who's playing the quarterback position. I promise that's the last time I say that, but I'm just so impressed with Kenny Hill this season.
Yeah, well, like Claude Mathis told us in the conference call this week, he said, you know, other than the fact that he's the Gatorade Player of the Week, other than the fact that he was the MVP in the state championship game last year, the win over Fort Bend Hightower at Cowboy Stadium, other than the fact that he has 54 total touchdowns out of his team's 90 on the year, what else do you want me to worry about?
Right. He has a lot to worry about.
That DeSoto defense, it's important for them to be aligned correctly and to run their assignments. If you go by what Coach Mathis told us this week, here's Kenny Hill's numbers so far today. ND, 124 through the air, 23 on the ground for 147 total. Of course, the touchdown run here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Carroll at the 23 of DeSoto. Kenny Hill in the shotgun with 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Carroll Dragons 12-1 on the year. DeSoto 13-0. What a great matchup here in the quarterfinals of 5A Division I. Here's the Hill pass for Mike Gardner, broken up in the end zone. Good defense there by the DeSoto Eagles, as Dontre Wilson was in the game at defensive back, and Coach Mathis promised us that Dontre Wilson, when he was needed, would come in on defense.
I'll tell you what, he felt awkward on that play, Dontre Wilson, and he's limping back to the sideline. That would be a huge loss for DeSoto if he's not able to enter the game. You see him right there on your screen, limping back to their trainers.
2nd down, 10 play, and Kenny Hill's going to be knocked down back at the 30-yard line. So a loss of about 8 on the play as Jonathan Graham makes the push from the defensive end position. A loss of 7. Here's the sack. Good play by Graham. Also, Josh Gay, the backup nose tackle, was there for the DeSoto defense. So Carroll will face a 3rd down long at the 30-yard line of DeSoto. They have to get it to the 13-yard line. 3rd and 17. Here's the reverse. A little bit of a flea flicker. Some trickeration here by Carroll, and the pass is complete on that far sideline. Ryan Agnew with the catch. The backup quarterback playing receiver with a 16-yard pass play complete to the 14-yard line. It's going to leave Carroll shy of the 1st down by a yard. 4th and 1 coming up. It's the end of the first quarter. Carroll leading DeSoto 10-6. Scoring plays, DeSoto got on the board first, ND.
Already a lot of action early in this game. DeSoto showing that they can throw the ball, catch the ball, score that way. But right now, the story's been Kenny Hill and the Southlake Carroll offense.
Kenny Hill answering with that touchdown run, and then the Drew Brown field goal of 24 yards to give Carroll their current lead of 10-6 as we begin the second quarter of play. Carroll in very good position. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Roger, right now, Dontre Wilson, number 2, tweaked his ankle on that defensive play. They need him on offense just as much. He's their star player. Left ankle, they tweaked it. Looks like it's going to be all right, but he's definitely hurting a little bit. It'll be interesting to see he gets back in. It seems like he's going to go back in, and DeSoto definitely needs him.
Yeah, the Eagles cannot afford to miss Dontre Wilson, and on that 4th down play, Kenny Hill gets a push at the right side for a Carroll 1st down. At the 12-yard line now, DeSoto, Carroll's Dragons with a 1st and 10 at the 12. Here's A.J. Ezzard at the right side, and Ezzard with a little bit of a push. He'll get it to about the 10 for a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up.
All right, getting a lot of push from the offensive line. He just gets behind those big boys, try to pick up positive yards, try to get DeSoto to think about the run, and don't be surprised if you see passes.
Stephen Bergmark is in the game at running back as well, as along with A.J. Ezzard. Here's Kenny Hill on the keeper at the left side. And Kenny Hill gets it to about the 8-yard line, maybe the 7. So 3rd down coming up. Carroll can get it to about the 3 for a 1st and goal, but they face a 3rd down and 4. Football at the 12-yard line, actually at the 7-yard line. 3rd down and 4 at the 7 for the Dragons, who are looking to add to a 10-6 lead of the Desoto Eagles here. Just underway second quarter at SMU's Ford Stadium. 5A Division I quarterfinal game. Here's the Hill pass, a laser, complete. Right about the 1 yard line is Ryan Agnew. Or no, it was Mike Gardner with the catch. So Mike Gardner with a sure catch of a nice pass from Kenny Hill. First and goal, Carroll at the 1 yard line. Carroll with a little bit of a power formation. Couple of blocking bats ahead of Kenny Hill. Kenny Hill is close to the goal line, but he's not across the plane. It'll be second and goal.
And with this drive, they're inching towards that goal line, but they're also taking time off the clock. Right now, you want to keep the DeSoto offense off the field. Though they're going no huddle, you notice that they're not running the plays as quickly as they were running earlier on in the first quarter.
Darian Woods with a nice tackle there for DeSoto. Second and goal for the Carroll Dragons. Kenny Hill at the left side. Kenny Hill is going to be denied. So Kenny Hill down at the goal line. Let's see how it looked on the replay, ND.
I'll tell you what, his knee was down before the ball touched the white mark on the goal line. Because typically whenever you see the ball touch the white mark, it is a touchdown, but his knee was down first.
Kenny Hill's going to burrow in this time, though, for the touchdown. Kenny Hill with his second touchdown run of the day. Kenny Hill with 30 rushing touchdowns on the year, 2 of them here today. And the Carroll Dragons lead DeSoto 16-6.
And the coach just didn't give up on his philosophy. When you're that close and you have a quarterback as big and strong as Kenny Hill, you just let him get behind that offensive line and push his way into that end zone.
Drew Brown on for the extra point try. He already has 1 extra point and a field goal today, looking for his second extra point. And the kick is up and good. And the Carroll Dragons lead DeSoto's Eagles 17-6 here at SMU's Ford Stadium. Champ Carroll Dragons lead DeSoto 17-6. Let's see how Carroll got their second touchdown of the day. Kenny Hill has been a man for the Carroll Dragons as he scores for the second time today from just a yard out.
When you run 3 similar plays that close to the goal line and you just get behind the guard in the center, you do credit the guard in the center, because that was all about the push up front and Kenny Hill finally falling forward to pick up 6 points.
12 plays, 55 yards on that particular march for the Carroll Dragons. Ty Cummings set the kickoff once again. The Cummings kick going to be taken about the 5 yard line by Brandon McDowell. And he is down just shy of the 15 yard line. So good coverage for the Carroll kick team. Let's look at how DeSoto has done today on offense.
And the big thing that stands out is the fumble. It is one thing to have to punt the ball. Obviously, you want to get the touchdowns, but when you're playing the defending state champions, you cannot have those fumbles, you can't have the interceptions, and you can't have the penalties, which DeSoto has had early in this game.
First down and 10.
All right. DeSoto Eagles have it first and 10 at their own 14 yard line. Call it the 13 as they trail Carroll 17-6 with 9:50 to play here in the first half. DeSoto 13-0, Carroll 12-1. Dontre Wilson at the right side. And let's go to Jim Knox.
Hi, Roger. I tell you what, on an unseasonably warm day here in Dallas, you look at this DeSoto defense, you can tell they are already tired out. They've been on a field an extremely long time. Right now, this DeSoto defense needs that offense to sustain some type of drive.
5 yards on that play by Wilson. He gets it again at the left side. This time, not much for him on the 2nd and 5 play, as the Carroll defense collapses on him pretty quickly.
And very good point brought up. It's not just about points. It's not just about field position. It's also about time. When you have these quick strike offenses and they run very quickly in between plays, you need to give your defense time to rest.
A big third down here for DeSoto, trailing by 11 already. Here's the Desmond White pass, complete to Ricky Daniels. Nice catch by Daniels. It looks like he's going to have enough for a DeSoto first down. Ricky Daniels coming in today with 36 catches, 338 yards, and 3 scores as we see the replay.
And look at that. He takes a big hit from 2 defenders, but he keeps fighting, pushing, and he falls forward to pick up that first down. Heck of a
Desmond White now with a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. White looking downfield. Has to break the pocket. Now completes it to the near sideline. Nice catch there by Jamal Johnson. Jamal Johnson, a little used receiver in that DeSoto offense, but he makes a big catch here past midfield to the 49 of Carroll. 1st and 10 DeSoto.
Desmond White has shown why he's had so many. Oh, there's a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going back.
Unfortunately for DeSoto, because that was a heck of a catch and a heck of a throw by Desmond White to Jamal Johnson.
Holding, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
So that nullifies a gain of 26 yards as we see the replay.
And you see the line doing a good job protecting him, but you see the hold right there coming from the right side of the screen on the defensive end.
So DeSoto backed up to its own 15-yard line.
First down at 20 from the 14-yard line for DeSoto.
1st and 14, 1st and 24, excuse me. And here's a little screen set up there, but the intended receiver was knocked down. It was Dontre Wilson who was supposed to receive that pass from Desmond White, but incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd down.
Right, you see Wilson fall down on that play, and we've been keeping an eye on him since the injury. He is still limping out there. He's a senior. He wants to lead his team to the first semifinal, so you respect the effort, but he's not the same guy as when he came into the game.
Here's the 2nd down play now for Desmond White. He wants to go far downfield, and it is broken up. Intended for Brandon McDowell, and broken up. Looks like it was Tanner Jacobson and Ray Crockett on the coverage. It was Ray Crockett, the cornerback. Nice play there by the senior Ray Crockett. Stride for stride, and a nice leap there to knock it away from Brandon McDowell. 3rd down and long now for the DeSoto Eagles. 3rd and 20, trailing Carroll 17-6. They need this conversion. Desmond White in the shotgun. Downfield he is, hit from behind, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass. White was hit by the backup nose tackle. Here's a familiar name for you, King Newton.
King Newton.
The son of Nate.
So he's watched a lot of Dallas film to learn how to play in the trenches on that line. And what he did a good job understanding that he was about to get past the level of the quarterback, so he changed his rush to counter. And when he did his counter move, he was right there waiting for Desmond White.
Jeff Lewis in the punt for DeSoto. King Newton was born on the day I was at Cowboys training camp, and Nate announced it to the rest of the media. My boy, King Newton, is coming to the world.
Nice.
And of course, his older boy, Trey, played at Carroll. Was their top running back and also played at the University of Texas. Tanner Jacobson with the fair catch, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Carroll Dragons at their own 46-yard line, leading DeSoto 17-6. Down to about 8 minutes to play here as we look at how Carroll has done with the football today, ND.
Now that's what you expect out of your offense when you're talking about playing a playoff game. Touchdowns, field goals, putting it on. And what you don't see any turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions.
Jeff Lewis struck a nice punt of 44 yards. Carroll will have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's A.J. Ezzard on the carry. Ezzard comes forward for a couple.
A.J. Ezzard, the ball carrier.
Not much more than that as we look at Kenny Hill's passing numbers, ND. 7 of 13, 146. No touchdowns, no picks, but he's had some pretty nice completions on the day. It's a 2nd down, 8 play for Kenny Hill. Plenty of time again. This time the receiver Weigel wide open. Weigel down that far sideline to about the 15-yard line is where he goes out of bounds. A big gain for the Carroll Dragons for a 1st down of 39 yards. 1st and 10 at the 15 of Desoto. Carroll knocking on the door again. And quickly at the line, they like to put it down and snap it, as Coach Hal Wasson says. Looking near side this time, complete from Kenny Hill to the receiver. And it was caught by Weigel once again. Weigel caught it on that far side on the previous play. This time he comes to the near side.
And the DeSoto front seven, they're going to have to find a way to get pressure on Kenny Hill. He is too good of a quarterback for him to get that comfortable in the pocket. He's patting the ball. He's going through all his progressions. They need to put some heat on him.
From the 7-yard line, Kenny Hill powers his way inside the 5 to about the 1-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Carroll Dragons on a nice run on the 2nd down play by Kenny Hill.
On the run.
And it's not just the power, it's not just the effort, and it's not the smarts as a running back trying to reach for the goal line, but it's also his vision. If Kenny Hill was a running back, you would think he'd be an all-state running back because he transforms into a very good runner when he decides to have plays like this.
And Kenny Hill is going to power his way in for his 3rd touchdown of the day. Kenny Hill from a yard out scores for the 3rd time via the rush, and Carroll ups its lead over DeSoto to 23-6. Drew Brown back in for the extra point. Kenny Hill with 31 rushing touchdowns on the year, MD. 3 today.
Just an impressive young man. And you can't say it enough.
So Drew Brown with the kick to make it 24-6 Carroll here in the 2nd quarter. This particular drive in Ryan Weigel.
Ryan Weigel doing a good job finding the soft spot of that defense, but DeSoto giving up way too many big plays.
3rd touchdown of the day for Kenny Hill from short yardage. Kenny Hill with 31 rushing touchdowns. He is responsible now for 57 of Carroll's 93 touchdowns on the entire season.
And I'm sure he'll tell you, like I will, do not forget about those guys in the trenches, those offensive linemen getting the push that he needs when he gets near the goal line. Ty
Cummings with the kickoff. Comes right down to the middle of the field, and coming up with that middle return. Looks like it was Brandon McDowell on the return, and Andy Chelf makes the tackle for the Carroll Dragons. So 1st and 10 for the DeSoto Eagles at the 26-yard line. Trailing Carroll now 24-6 with 7 minutes 3 seconds to play here in the 1st half. DeSoto needs some of those explosive plays of 20 or more yards, the things that have made them the offense that they are.
And they need points, whether it's 3 from a field goal or 6 from a touchdown. The game is far from over, but you do not want to get this far behind when you're playing the defending state champs.
Desmond White in the shotgun for the DeSoto Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 26. And White, after a fake to Dontre Wilson, is going to be tackled for a loss in the backfield. Good play there.
Good play, smart play, assignment football. Outside linebacker had the inside gap. The A gap became the B gap, but he did not let that falter his responsibility, and he was not tricked by the fake handoff.
It was Tim Barnhart, the bandit linebacker, who came through on the play. So a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. White looking down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. A flag goes down on the coverage. So a penalty flag down as the DeSoto Eagles on that 2nd and 11 play. We'll see what the question was. Indications are it might be a pass interference call against the Carroll Dragons. Hal Wasson with his Joe Cool look on the sideline.
All the coaches on that sideline looking cool with their shades.
Sun is bright today. Coach Claude Mathis wearing his as well on that DeSoto side.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
First penalty of the day on the Carroll Dragons. DeSoto has been hit for 3 flags, 20 yards. But first flag against Carroll It's a big one. It comes out to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for DeSoto, trailing Carroll 24-6. With 6:28 left here in the first half. And here's Desmond White on the keeper, going to the short side of the field, and he's going to be run out of bounds. So not much room for Desmond White so far today. He's been an explosive running quarterback for the DeSoto offense this year.
You see
at the 45.
Dontre Wilson not in the game, and you even notice that the energy from the DeSoto sideline, from the DeSoto offense is not there anymore. I wonder if they're being affected by the thought of their star running back not playing.
Jatori Brown-Sparks, his backup on the carry on that 2nd down play. One of the Carroll defenders ran off without his helmet.
King Newton is down for Southlake Carroll. A gain of 5, 3rd down and 1 from the
football now at the 49-yard line. So Desmond White trying to get his team lined up right, facing a key 3rd down, less than a yard for DeSoto, just short of midfield, trailing Carroll 24-6. And White is going to be stonewalled just shy of midfield. I don't think he got it.
I don't think so either. It depends on the forward movement and where he was before he was blasted, but very good defensive play. And I think it's going to come down to where he was before he took that big hit.
Ball is resting at midfield, and it's going to be 4th down, and DeSoto's going to go for it with no huddle. And here's the handoff. It's Jamon Peterson, and he comes out. Jamon Peterson gets the 1st down for DeSoto, so a good run there by Peterson to the 44-yard line of Carroll. 1st and 10 for DeSoto. Here's a quick hitch pass to Ricky Daniels. Daniels gets it down to about the 31-yard line. Call it the 33-yard line, so it is enough for a DeSoto 1st down. Looks like the Carroll defense wants to discuss things now, and it looks like they'll have the timeout. Let's see how that last play unfolded, ND.
Well, what they did a good job on the DeSoto side, they were doing the quick plays, and Southlake Carroll defense, as you see, they didn't even get a chance to get lined up. Some of the guys up front didn't even get their hands in the dirt. So good job by DeSoto going to the quick count to try to catch the Southlake Carroll defense off guard.
So the DeSoto Eagles on a bit of a march now. Had to convert a 4th down and was able to get it with the run by Jamon Peterson. They're down to their 3rd running back. Dontre Wilson, for whatever reason, is not in the game. Jatori Brown-Sparks, his backup, and Jamon Peterson also seeing time today at running back with the Eagles.
Yeah, when you see Dontre Wilson sitting on the training table, and you know what, that's a bad sign. When you see ice on a player, it usually means he's not coming back in the game. And for him to get injured playing defense, you wonder if Mathis is second-guessing having his star player go both ways.
At the 33-yard line, 1st down play as Jamon Peterson crosses the 30 to about the 29-yard line. They'll give him the 30, actually, so a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 for DeSoto.
2nd down and 7.
Desmond White getting the play from the sideline. DeSoto trying to answer Carroll's 3 touchdown runs by quarterback Kenny Hill and the field goal by Drew Brown, trailing 24-6. Here's a pass complete to Brandon McDowell. Nice pitch and catch there from Desmond White to Brandon McDowell for another DeSoto 1st down.
And that's the name you're going to have to start calling. You're going to have to start calling the McDowells Desmond White when your star player, when your star offensive running back is out of the game and Dontre Wilson, everybody around him has to step up.
Let's go down to Jim Knox.
Jamon Peterson, the ball carrier.
Roger, I tell you what, I just got through talking to some of the guys on the sideline, and the trainer says that even though he has his ice on his left ankle, Dontrell looked around and said he's going to go back in sometime. It's not going to be now, but I wouldn't be surprised. This could be his last high school football game. 2nd half, he could suck it up and get back in, but I know he's in a great deal of pain.
If there's any way possible, Dontre Wilson will be back in the game. Here's Desmond White finding some free space. White keeping his feet, and he's going to go in at the pylon for a DeSoto touchdown. 18 yards on the scoring play for Desmond White.
Well, that's one young man who said we're not giving up on hope just because our star player was out, and that's what's going to have to happen. The Desmond Whites, the Jatori Browns, the Ricky Daniels, all the other skill position guys are going to have to make those kind of plays if they want to stay in this ball game.
Looks like Desoto wants to go for two. The kicker is not in the game. Once again, they'll have a crazy spread formation. Here's Desmond White's pass, and it is complete to Kyle Collins. A flag is down, but Kyle Collins makes the catch for the two-point conversion from Desmond White. Looks like that call would have gone against the Carroll Dragons.
Pass interference on the defense. That penalty's declined. The trial's good.
So the Eagles tack on 2 more points to make it Carroll 24, DeSoto 14. Indeed, 9 plays, 73 yards on that march. A drive the DeSoto Eagles needed as we look at the touchdown.
And just watch the effort. You see the athleticism, you see the fake pass, and you just see the want to get into the goal line. He's putting it on his shoulders. When we talked to Coach Claude Mathis and we had a chance to talk to him about Wilson, he said Wilson carried this team, and it looks like Desmond White wants to take that duty with that nice laser pass to get 2 points.
Good pass on the 2-point, and you see Dontre Wilson cheering his team on from the sideline. Desmond White with that touchdown pass, his second of the day, by the way.
And Dontre Wilson right now with the ice on his ankle. It looks like he's headed to the locker room early. I will be surprised. I know they said that he wants to get back out there, but I can't remember the last time I've seen somebody get ice during a game and return to the game. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to take place.
We'll get another look at the score on the run by Desmond White. He beat Jackson Mitchell, the linebacker, who had the fumble strip earlier in the game for a big Carroll defensive break, but that time White beat him to the pylon.
So right now it looks like Desmond White and the rest of the offense, they still have faith in what they can do against Southlake. But this is a huge series for the DeSoto defense. They're down by 10 points. They still have 3 minutes and 56 seconds left. They're going to have to stop Southlake Carroll.
10-point lead for Carroll now after that touchdown run by Desmond White. He has a touchdown pass and a touchdown run on the day. And the 2-point pass complete to Kyle Collins. Desmond White is a guy DeSoto depends on heavily in that offense to get the calls from the sideline and be the trigger man for Coach Claude Mathis. Here's the kickoff by Roberto Hernandez. Tanner Jacobson will take it at his 5-yard line, and he is upended hard at the 25-yard line. Return of 17 yards for Tanner Jacobson. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Carroll Dragons.
And watch this hit. That's what ignites the defense. Let's see how the defense, the DeSoto Eagles, how they respond from their special team players playing all out. When you talk about momentum shifts, those are the type of plays that shift momentum. Right now the momentum is with Southlake Carroll, but Nick Orr with that big hit, he might be responsible for a momentum shift. Let's see how the defense responds.
Nick Orr, one of those guys that has a couple of extra logs in that knapsack when it comes to applying the hit. Kenny Hill in the shotgun for Carroll. Dragons lead 24-14, but DeSoto feeling a little bit of a surge of momentum after that touchdown run by Desmond White. DeSoto bringing the house, but Hill goes downfield, and the pass is broken up, intended for Mike Gardner. Good coverage there by who else? Nick Orr, the safety.
When we talk about everybody rising to the challenge, they're doing it on special teams and defense, and just great position. There was no way the receiver could catch that. And when Kenny Hill threw that ball, he was getting hit because they were getting the pressure that they weren't getting early in the game.
2nd and 10 now for Carroll, their own 22-yard line. Kenny Hill takes the shotgun snap, looking downfield, and he tosses it. Incomplete, good coverage. Mike Gardner was the intended receiver. And the linebacker on the outside, Vernon Johnson, was there along with Taylor Young. As we see how it developed, it was Vernon Johnson who came back from 2 shoulder surgeries to play this year as a senior.
And once again, Kenny Hill took another hit. He's not as comfortable in the pocket in these 2 plays on this series.
Hill took a lot of pressure in the opening game of the season for Carroll when they lost at the new Allen Stadium to the Eagles. Desoto perhaps taking a cue from that. And here's a pass from Hill on third down intended for Ryan Weigel, broken up.
And guess what, Roger? I'm going to say it again. Kenny Hill took another hit early in the game. They were not getting any pressure. Kenny Hill was too comfortable in that pocket. But this series, that momentum from the big hit, from the play, is showing up everywhere. On the blitz, big-time hit by Taylor Young.
Yeah, Taylor Young came at Kenny Hill and nearly got that sack. Fourth down coming up here. As the first time today, the DeSoto defense forces a 3rd and out from the Carroll offense. Sam Downey is in to punt it for the Carroll Dragons. And Downey hits it. Brandon McDowell is the deep receiver, but smartly kicking it away from McDowell, and it's down at the 41-yard line. Coming up on the Ford halftime show, Jim Knox will speak with both coaches. And of course, we'll have halftime stats and highlights brought to you by Ford. DeSoto with that big defensive stop will have it back on offense. This is a big possession now for the Eagles.
And the DeSoto defense, they responded favorably, and they've left their offense plenty of time to try to counter. And when you're talking about you're down by 10 points, you still have over 3 minutes to go, whether it's a field goal, whether it's a touchdown, points really push you back in this game.
DeSoto showing some rhythm in their last possession on offense. And that's something, if you're a defense, you don't want to see. Here's Desmond White being chased, but he throws it downfield, and a diving catch is made by Chris Lacey. Chris Lacey catches it at the Carroll 40. 1st and 10 for DeSoto. 16 on that pickup.
Desmond White has been so accurate on the move. That's one thing that's really stood out in this game. When he evades the pressure and he throws on the run, he still keeps the accuracy.
Here's Jamon Peterson. No, it's Jatori Brown-Sparks on this carry. Sparks a little bit bigger back. Let's take a look at that previous play by Chris Lacey on the catch from Desmond White. Good catch by Lacey, who went down to get that one. Here's Jatori Brown-Sparks again at the left side. Crosses the 30 of Carroll, down to about the 28-yard line. That'll be enough for another DeSoto 1st down. Call it the 29, 1st and 10. 2:42 to play in the half. Down by 10, DeSoto trying to move it again. Here's Ricky Daniels with a catch from White. Ricky Daniels maneuvers his way inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Ray Crockett with the tackle on that far sideline. But we do have a flag down.
6 yards on the penalty.
So a question on the play. After that catch by Daniels, ball marked at the 23 of Carroll. But they're discussing this one.
This will be a big call because you feel the momentum shifting to DeSoto. But if they're going to have to march backwards, it'll take some air out of this drive.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 2nd down.
Well, huge mistake on the part of the Eagles, and Coach Claude Mathis not happy at all with his players for this particular mistake. So a 10-point deficit for DeSoto, and they go back on the penalty. Back to the 38-yard line of Carroll. They'll have to get it to the 19. 2nd and 19. DeSoto's been penalized 4 times today for 35 yards. Southlake Carroll has been hit just 1 time for 15 yards.
I'll tell you what, Roger, though, that might have been the most damaging penalty for DeSoto this half.
Here's Desmond White's pass, near side complete to Brandon McDowell. McDowell is going to skip his way up the near sideline, inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. That'll bring up a makeable 3rd down, if you want to call it that. A nice gain of 9 there at the 29 of Carroll. Again, quickly working in the hurry up for DeSoto. Here's Desmond White rolling right. His pass is complete. And staying on his feet and going for a first down is Ricky Daniels.
Roger.
Ricky Daniels would not be denied.
How many times have we seen that today, this half, from Ricky Daniels? He keeps his legs churning, and you talk about yards after the catch, but he picks up a lot of yards after contact. He does not go down on the first hit.
At the 15 of Carroll, here's Ja'Tory Brown-Sparks trying to find a crease. He's across the 15 to about the 14-yard line. That previous pass of 15 yards to Ricky Daniels. Here's the second down play, 2nd and 8.
Another flag. And this looks like it's going to be on the DeSoto offensive lineman leaving too early. And Coach Mathis.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, DeSoto overcame an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty earlier in this possession to get a first down. And now they're pushed back 5 yards. They've been penalized 5 for 40 now. Here's Desmond White on the keeper, and White finds his way to about the 14-yard line. He's not an easy guy to find at 5'7", 150.
Not an easy guy to find and not an easy guy to bring down because he's so quick and athletic. You don't get a clean hit on him.
Ball at the 14, 3rd and 9. Big third down for DeSoto, trailing Carroll 24-14 with a minute to play here in the first half at SMU's Ford Stadium. White back to throw, looking to the near side. It is caught by the tall receiver, Chris Lacey. Lacey, a possession receiver, makes a big catch. It's going to be 1st and goal DeSoto at the 1-yard line. Call it the 2-yard line of Carroll. 1st and goal DeSoto, and they're going to work quickly. Under a minute to play. Here's Ja'Tory Brown-Sparks. He crashes in for the DeSoto touchdown with 44 seconds to play. We got us a ball game.
We have a ball game, and I tell you what, Roger, I am impressed with DeSoto. Their star player goes out with an injury, and they don't seem phased. If anything, it seems like that energized them, and they continue to stay in this game, and they continue to keep the faith. And like you said, this is one heck of a game going on right now.
Francisco Obregon is going to come in for his first extra point kick try of the game for DeSoto. Try to make it a 3-point game with 44 seconds left in the half. Here's Obregon's kick, and it goes through. Our new score, Carroll 24, DeSoto 21. We're under a minute to play here in the first half. ND, the DeSoto Eagles just would not be denied. They were down 24-6. Now they're within 3 at 24-21 as we look at the touchdown.
And once again, when you get that far into the end zone before you really receive a hit, you have to credit the offensive line, but I'll also credit the quick play calling by the offensive coordinator for DeSoto. Time and time again, they've caught Southlake Carroll defense off guard. I've seen defensive linemen for Southlake Carroll not even get in their stance before the play has already been underway.
So with under a minute to play here in the half, the DeSoto Eagles have drawn within 3 at 24-21. And since Dontre Wilson went out with that ankle injury, 2 very solid drives for this DeSoto offense.
Maybe he's the problem. Maybe the All-American Oregon recruit is the problem for DeSoto. Of course, I'm joking. I mean, when you talk about Dontre Wilson, one of the top running back recruits in the nation, and I just really think that when they noticed that he was injured, everybody said we have to step our game up, and that's why DeSoto is still in this game.
DeSoto Eagles have never been to the semifinals. They've never won a state championship in football. Trying to get to the semifinals with a quarterfinal win here today. They trail the defending champs in 5A Division I, the Carroll Dragons, by 3, 24-21. Set to kick off is Roberto Hernandez for the DeSoto Eagles.
I can't help but notice that 44 seconds with this South Carroll offense, you know they could strike anywhere on the field and they could strike within seconds. So this DeSoto defense, they're going to have to keep their stinger up and make sure they still play aggressive and not play too conservative on the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles.
Hernandez gets the whistle and he'll kick it off. It's going to go to Jacobson at the 2-yard line. Jacobson comes forward to the 15, to the 20, and just shy of the 25 as the flag goes down. Back to the scoring drive for DeSoto as we get the play that set it all up, ND. Ricky Daniels with a nice catch and breaking the tackle. And of course the touchdown run by Ja'Torry Brown Sparks.
10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So Carroll's Tanner Jacobson had a nice return, but it comes back on the penalty on that kick return by Tanner Jacobson.
And with 38 seconds left, you are going to get in your dime, your nickel package on the defensive side of the ball. But I would expect Desoto to stay aggressive with the rush, maybe continue to blitz. Even with 38 seconds, with a player like Kenny Hill, he could put together a drive and maybe get in field goal range. You just don't want to see, if you're a Desoto fan, Desoto get too conservative with their play call on the defensive side of the ball.
Carroll has it 1st and 10 from their 14-yard line with 38 seconds left in the half. Kenny Hill in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They're going to play it a little bit safer with A.J. Ezra, the junior running back, on the handoff.
Screen or draw, that's what you yell out as a defensive player. First play of 2-minute drill. Whether it's 2 minutes on the clock or 30 seconds, you typically see a screen or draw play every time for the first play. But I am surprised that Carroll, like you said, it looks like they're just going to let this play clock wind down to 0.
And we're down to 10 seconds on the game clock. Carroll may be willing not to run another play here.
I'm a little surprised, Roger. I thought they would try to at least pick up. They have a very good field goal kicker. I thought they would try to get in field goal position. What do you think that reasoning is, Roger? Like I said, they have a good field goal. They're known for their field goal kickers here at Southlake Carroll. They have the best quarterback in the nation. I really thought that they would try to pick up 30, 40, 50 yards and get in field goal range.
I think probably the only thing they were thinking is that the DeSoto defense, with the momentum from that previous possession, the kind of pressure they were getting on Kenny Hill, let's play it safe and take the 3-point lead to the half as they go to the locker room.
You know, a good call. That's why you're the best in the biz, because you understand the intangibles. And you know what? I think you're absolutely right. The DeSoto defense seemed to really wake up after their star player went down, and we saw a series where Kenny Hill was hit 3 times, and I bet that is exactly what Southlake Carroll was thinking.
Kenny Hill with 3 touchdown runs in this first half. ND for Carroll, a Drew Brown field goal, but DeSoto coming back with 2 solid drives after Dontre Wilson got hurt. Desmond White touchdown run, and of course a Ja'Torry Brown Sparks touchdown run as well. Let's go down to Jim Knox with Coach Claude Mathis of DeSoto.
Okay, thanks, Raj. Coach, you just gather your team around. What'd you tell them?
I told them the only team that can beat us is ourselves, and we got to calm down. Gosh almighty, I knew this was going to happen to us coming in this game right here. They were a little jittery. And then once we got things settled down and calmed down, we're good to play. So we're okay right now.
It seemed like when Dontrell Wilson went out of the game, things settled down. You went on back-to-back drives. What was the difference there?
The difference was we calmed down. We calmed down. We started playing DeSoto football. We calmed down, started executing. The kids were frenzied at first, got them on the bench, talked to those guys, got them settled down, and now we're playing some good football right now.
Dontre left to the training room and also with ice on his left ankle. He said he may be back. Will he be back?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if he's going to be back or not, but I guarantee you right now, if he doesn't come back, we got some guys that's going to take up the slack, but we still got to get the job done.
There you go, Coach. Thanks for the time. Roger?
All right, Jim, as we go to the halftime with the Carroll Dragons, the defending champs in 5A Division I, leading the DeSoto Eagles 24-21 at SMU's Ford Stadium.
I love Time Warner Cable.
Ball teams, and you've got to weather those storms. We had a little storm. They prevailed, came back, and now we've got to weather their storm.
One of your coaches was talking right here before kickoff that you cannot allow White to extend the play. That's a key.
Absolutely. You know, he's extended some plays, and we paid for it. And of course, we've been able to extend some plays and made some plays. So at the end of the day, it comes down to this second half as it should be, and we've got to stay the course.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Kenny Hill with a big first half, ND, as we see some of the numbers from this first half. 3 touchdown runs for Kenny Hill, 31 on the season.
Yeah, when you talk about Kenny Hill, this is the type of game we expected him to have. He could beat you with his legs, he could beat you with his arm. But what we didn't expect, especially after the injury to their best player, DeSoto's defense stepping up and stopping Kenny Hill and the Southlake Carroll offense on the last 2 series.
19 rushes, 30 yards. So a good job by the DeSoto defense against Kenny Hill's running. Although he does have the 3 touchdowns rushing, they've been able to limit him to 30 total yards on the ground. He came in with 1,327 rushing yards and 28 scores. 3 more running scores today. Let's go to Jim Knox on the sideline.
All right, Roger, out here midfield, as you look at number 2, Dontre Wilson, no more ice on his left ankle, guys. He has it heavily wrapped. He's going to try to give it a go here in the second half. Could be his last high school football game. He's going to try to give it a go.
And it looks like it's a little higher than the ankle, between the ankle and the knee, ND.
Right, it may be a high ankle sprain, but I'll tell you what, I've never seen a player on any level get ice then come back into the game. So you really hope the medical staff, of course they know what they're doing, but they had to heat it up, warm it up to make sure that he's not going to be out there too stiff. And you see him walking very gingerly. I would be surprised if he does get in, and if he gets in, if he's effective.
We'll see how that unfolds, but Carroll's Dragons will have it to begin the second half. They allowed an 80-yard scoring drive by DeSoto to open the game. We're able to answer with 3 touchdowns by Kenny Hill and a field goal to take a 20 as we begin the third quarter. 24-21 Carroll, the defending 5A Division I champs, 16-0 ND a year ago, beating Fort Bend Hightower in the championship game at Cowboys Stadium 36-29. In that game, Kenny Hill was the MVP with 2 touchdown runs. He has 3 already today, but Carroll holding on to a 3-point lead over DeSoto.
Right, and DeSoto's defense, they're going to have to pick up where they left off at the end of the first half. Early in the game, Southlake Carroll's offense was dominating DeSoto's defense, but then again, after the injury to the top player for DeSoto, to Dontre Wilson, everybody on offense, defense, special teams stepped up, and the defense shut down Southlake Carroll. But now we'll see if that momentum is still on their side.
Roberto Hernandez will kick it off, and Ryan Weigel at the 11-yard line will return it out to the 25, and a good return almost to the 30-yard line by Weigel. He has had a couple of good catches in the first half for Carroll, as they will have it 1st and 10 to begin the second half. We're just underway third quarter at Ford Stadium on the SMU campus here on the hilltop. This is the venue where Carroll won the semifinals a year ago on the way to the state championship when they beat a very good Dallas Skyline team.
When we talk about Southlake Carroll, this is another game for them. They're used to the playoffs. They're used to playing in these big venues. They're a very successful program.
Kyle Arpaia, the center, will snap it in the shotgun to Kenny Hill. 1st and 10 for Carroll as we begin the third quarter. 3-point lead, and here's A.J. Ezzard. A.J. Ezzard with a big opening down at the 45-yard line. A.J. Ezzard, we were told by Coach Hal Wasson, was on the verge of a breakout game. Let's see how this one unfolded.
It unfolds because of his vision and how quickly he hits that hole. The offensive line, they create that seam, but he did not hesitate, and the hole was wide open, and he takes it aggressively.
44-yard line to DeSoto. Ezzard again at the left side, and Ezzard down at about the 39-yard line, a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up for Carroll. So a good opening possession here to begin the second half of the Carroll Dragons, who lead DeSoto 24-21. Kenny Hill in the shotgun. Flanked on his left by A.J. Ezzard, the junior. Played a lot as a sophomore a year ago in that state championship run for Carroll. Hill wants to throw, and he'll throw it, and the receiver is down, is knocked down. They're going to call a flag on the receiver. Was Keaton Duhon, and the defender was, it looks like it was Nick Orr on that side.
Pass interference, defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
And check that, the defender was Zach White, the cornerback. So Zach White is going to be flagged. And the DeSoto Eagles, who had, I believe it was 5 penalties in the first half, hit for 1 here. Now at the 31-yard line of DeSoto, 1st and 10 Carroll. Leading by 3, but marching with the opening possession of the second half. Kenny Hill is going to be hemmed in as he gets to the sideline, was not able to turn it upfield.
Wasn't able to turn it upfield, and a good job by DeSoto defense not faking. That was a designed run. He faked the pass, but you just get the sense from the blocking, from the way he ran that ball, it was a designed run, and he didn't fool anybody with the pump fake.
2nd down coming up for Carroll. Call it 9. Barely a yard on that gain for Kenny Hill. We've played about a minute here in the third quarter. Carroll leading DeSoto by 3, opening possession of the second half. Hill setting up a middle screen. It's caught by Ezzard. Ezzard gets it to about the 25-yard line. A dangerous pass by Kenny Hill, but Ezzard was able to haul it in. And that'll set up a 3rd and short as we see A.J. Ezzard with a nice catch and tackled by the linebacker Darian Woods. So a 3rd and 4 now for Carroll's Dragons at the 25 of DeSoto. Hill again in the shotgun. Hill gets the snap. Looking downfield. It's intended for Mike Gardner. Incomplete over his head on that far sideline. That'll set up a 4th down as the Dragons will decide whether to go for it or bring Drew Brown in, their very good field goal kicker. Brown already has a field goal today. It looks like Carroll's going to go for it. 4th down 4 at the 25 at DeSoto. Hill in the shotgun. Looks like DeSoto's going to bring some pressure, but Hill completes it to Gardner. Gardner at the 10 to the 5. Inside the 5, it's going to be 1st and goal for the Dragons of Carroll. A nice pass play of 21 yards from Kenny Hill to Mike Gardner, the leading receiver on this Carroll offense.
And once again, you first have to look at the protection for Kenny Hill. He was very comfortable. He had time to allow the route to finish.
Kenny Hill will carry it in the end zone for the 4th time today. Kenny Hill has rushed for a Carroll touchdown.
4 touchdowns for your quarterback. This is amazing. The yards per carry isn't where they've been all season, but the production is still there.
Kenny Hill ran for 30 yards in the first half on 13 carries. Just barely over 2 yards a carry, but 3 touchdowns in the first half. Now a 4th touchdown on the ground for Kenny Hill. 32 rushing touchdowns for Kenny Hill in this Carroll offense, and Drew Brown is on for the extra point, trying to make it a 10-point game. And there you have it. It's 31-21. Carroll by 10 over the DeSoto Eagles here at Ford Stadium. Just tastes better. And it's the year-end celebration at your Texas Ford dealer. Enjoy great savings on the freshest lineup. Ford is the best in Texas.
It's all about halftime adjustments, so let's see how DeSoto adjusts, because right now DeSoto, they were not able to adjust to what Southlake Carroll was doing on the offensive side, and that just couldn't happen for DeSoto.
Ty Cummings with the kickoff after the Kenny Hill touchdown run, his 4th of the half, and he goes out of bounds. Let's see what Kenny Hill did on that last play. Kenny Hill finding his running back, A.J. Ezzard, coming up with a nice block there, the junior.
That's what he did. He used his vision, he used his strength to break a tackle, but he understood who was blocking for him, and he showed patience.
8 plays, 70 yards, that scoring drive to begin the 3rd quarter for the Carroll Dragons. 31-21, and Dontre Wilson is in the game with his left leg wrapped from the top of the ankle almost to the knee. We'll see what kind of mobility he has, and he's not moving very well. He does get the handoff. He's upended hard at about the 27-yard line. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up. DeSoto Eagles working a no huddle, and it looks like he's wearing a different shoe than the one he had earlier in the game, ND. Here's the 2nd down play. Desmond White looking downfield. It's caught by Brandon McDowell at the near sideline. That's going to be enough for a DeSoto 1st down.
I tell you what, he is limping noticeably, even when he's walking it. As you see during the pass protection, he's limping. I respect his thought of trying to get in and play his last game, but the coaches need to protect his future. He has a scholarship at Oregon waiting for him. He does not want to damage anything that's going to, he doesn't want to have anything occur to him that's going to damage his career.
Here's a 1st down pass play. Desmond White completes it on that far sideline, and it's caught by Brandon McDowell. So 2 straight catches for McDowell out to the 49-yard line, almost to midfield. 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2 for DeSoto. trailing Carroll 31-21, trying to answer the Kenny Hill touchdown run earlier to begin the second half. Here's Desmond White on the keep. And he's going to get close to a DeSoto first down. Crosses midfield as we see the very sure tackle in open space by Tanner Jacobson, the safety.
Right, he saved what could be a first down or a big gain. Like you said, open field tackle, didn't have many defenders around him. He did a good job wrapping up and getting the ball carried down.
Tanner Jacobson, a 3-year starter for the Southlake Carroll Dragons. His older brother McKay was a receiver on some of those 5A championship teams in the early 2000s, ND.
It's a family affair out there. They have a great program, and generation to generation.
McKay Jacobson went to BYU to play his college football. And as you see the measurement, looks like it's going to be a little bit short as we look at some of the numbers for Desmond White so far.
Averaging over 5 yards a carry, and he's been very efficient, been very accurate throwing that ball. It's really opened my eyes. During our show prep, we understood how effective a quarterback he is, but to actually see it and to see his accuracy when he's on the move, it really shows you that this is the quarterback of the future for DeSoto, and they're excited to have him back next year.
So a third down and less than a yard for DeSoto with the 48 at Carroll. Desmond White hands it off. Looks like it's going to be more than enough for the DeSoto first down as Dontre Wilson with the carry. Wilson hit the hole pretty fast that time.
He did, and typically when you have those ankle injuries, you don't show the limp the faster that you run. It sounds weird, it sounds odd, but the momentum allows you to hide the limp when you're running fast. It's more noticeable when you're walking or jogging.
There's a first down play. Desmond White downfield, and a flag's going to come in as Kyle Collins was the intended receiver. They're going to flag the defender for Carroll. Darian Jones, the cornerback, is going to be flagged for interference.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's close because it looks like both the defense and offensive player were going for the ball. But you know what? When the flag comes out, it's a penalty, whether you agree or not, Coach.
So the DeSoto Eagles will take advantage of the pass interference against Darian Jones and have it 1st and 10 at the Carroll 31-yard line. Trailing 31-21, 8:34 to play here in the third quarter. Trying to answer the Carroll touchdown to begin the second half. Desmond White is going to break the pocket, and he'll keep. He's a tough guy to find. Finds his way to the 21-yard line of Carroll. Close to another DeSoto first down.
You can't say enough about the qualities of Desmond White. When he runs the ball, one thing that I've noticed, he also protects it. A lot of those athletic quarterbacks, when they're in open space, they don't know how to hold the ball. You see them cough it up, i.e. a Michael Vick. But Desmond White, he understands what it means to protect the ball in open space.
Dontre Wilson with an opening at the left side, and that's going to be enough for the DeSoto first down. He gets about 3 or 4 on the play, almost to the 15 of Carroll. So DeSoto, and it looks like he hurt the ankle again. Here's Desmond White on the first down play, complete on that far side to Brandon McDowell. McDowell down that far sideline, inside the 5. They're going to mark him out of the 5-yard line. 1st and goal DeSoto at the Carroll 5-yard line. So a good pitch and catch there from Desmond White to Brandon McDowell, and he does the rest. 1st and goal DeSoto. And another flag comes in.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, it remains first down.
Offensive linemen for DeSoto, they've been anxious all day, and they've been able to overcome some of these penalties, but sooner or later, they're not going to be able to continue to pick up the first downs after they march backwards on all these penalties.
2nd and goal at the 10. Call it 1st and goal at the 10-yard line instead of at the 5. And here's a pass in the middle. It's caught. Touchdown DeSoto. Ricky Daniels makes the touchdown of 10 yards on the pass from Desmond White. DeSoto answers the Kenny Hill touchdown run with a drive of their own, capped by the pass from Desmond White to Ricky Daniels.
His penalties don't bother DeSoto, Roger. Every time I say that, they come back and either pick up a first down or score a touchdown.
Good drive for the Eagles as they make it 31-27. Francisco Obregon is in the game for the extra point. And a bit of a knuckler goes through. Our new score, Southlake Carroll's Dragons 31, DeSoto 28. We got a barn burner at Ford Stadium. Has had the football one time here in the third quarter, and each team has scored, ND, as we watch the DeSoto scoring drive. And the scoring play to Ricky Daniels. So Desmond White with the accurate pass to Ricky Daniels, who coming in today, Ricky Daniels had 36 catches, 338 yards, and 3 scores. So give him 4 touchdown catches on the year. DeSoto really spreads it out among their receivers. Dontre Wilson came in today with 44 total touchdowns. But these DeSoto receivers may be an unsung bunch, but a productive group of receivers. Here's a short kick taken by Mike Gardner. Gardner wants to take it to the far sideline and is able to get it almost to the 30-yard line. So the Carroll offense comes back on the field with the 1st and 10.
And
leading by 3.
DeSoto's defense, they cannot allow this to become a shootout. When you look at the score, is the third quarter 31-28. You could probably say it's already become a shootout. But if it becomes one of those games where the offense scores and you go score for score, I think that's in the favor of Southlake Carroll. So DeSoto's defense is going to have to figure out a way to bring the punter back on the field a couple more times this half.
At the 29-yard line, Carroll in their own territory with a 1st and 10, leading by 3. Each team has scored here in the third quarter as A.J. Ezzard, the junior, gets a couple at the right side. Comes across the 30-yard line. Make it 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Coach Hal Wasson telling me this week that he thought A.J. Ezzard was on the verge of a breakout game. He was hoping it would be this week against DeSoto. Kenny Hill in the shotgun. Finds time and fires to Mike Gardner, who slipped down. Nick Orr, the safety, was there in the coverage, but Gardner slipped down at the 45. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
All right, Roger, it's like a who's who on the sideline. Kenneth Davis, the former Buffalo Bills running back, played at TCU. Here, his Claude Mathis, the head coach of DeSoto, that's his nephew. Then you got Gary Campbell right here, the hat. He's the Oregon running back coach. Been at Oregon for 30 years. Here to see Dontrell Wilson, guys.
Love that outfit. Call it 3rd and 8 coming up. ND, how would you look with that hat?
You know what, if he recruited me, I'd run the other way with that suit on. He looked like a boxing promoter.
31-yard line, Carroll with the 3rd down. Kenny Hill throws it. It is complete to Ryan Weigel. Weigel at the 46-yard line. So a gain of 17 as we see Kenny Hill finding the time and the space to complete it to Ryan Weigel. 41 catches for Weigel coming in, 760 yards and 6 scores. Here's the 1st down play, and Hill after a zone read fake will keep it at the left side. Kenny Hill to 25, down to the actually the 35 to the 30-yard line, and Hill's going to be knocked out at the 27-yard line. A big gain for Kenny Hill for another Carroll 1st down.
I thought DeSoto got away with a late hit. We'll see it on this replay. It looked like Kenny Hill was out of bounds and took a shot.
21 on that pickup for Kenny Hill. Has 4 touchdown runs on the day. All short touchdown runs, but that was a big one of 21 yards for Kenny Hill. And a win over Temple this year at Cowboy Stadium. Hill ran for 237, so he's capable of a big rushing game. But Hill's going to be knocked down by Taylor Young, the linebacker, who fires through and knifes him down.
And we've said that name before, and we've talked about him before the game. Watch him on this replay, and Coach Mathis said that this is one of the best linebackers he's seen, and the only thing keeping him from being a top recruit in the nation is his size. But with plays like that, you know some college program's going to give him a shot.
Yeah, Sam Mills wasn't that tall,
No,
was
he
he?
wasn't. He was very effective.
Ball at the 30 of DeSoto after the loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Kenny Hill in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Is going to lob the pass to the far sideline, and it is caught for a touchdown. Touchdown for the Carroll Dragons of 33 yards. The touchdown caught by Mike Gardner. And the Carroll Dragons have scored on each of their first 2 possessions of this second half.
I'll tell you what, a lot of these players, when we talk about Dontre Wilson, Kenny Hill, they get all the national, all the statewide accolades. But this is the ultimate team sport. And it's with plays like that, when you look at Kenny Hill get comfortable in that pocket, when you look at the receiver make that catch, you understand why they have individual success, because of their teammates around them.
So Drew Brown's kick makes it 38-28 as we look at the touchdown.
And look how comfortable he is in that pocket, but watch this catch. I mean, that's good defense. When you look at the way he's being covered.
Nick Orr was right there with him.
By Nick Orr. Nick Orr's defensive coach cannot tell him to do anything different, but the receiver just makes a spectacular catch, and it's going to go down as a Kenny Hill touchdown pass, but you have to realize that was a team effort right there.
Mike Gardner, the leading receiver for Carroll, coming into this quarterfinal game with 61 catches, nearly 1,000 yards at 907, 8 scores. He comes up with number 9 of the season. 6 plays, 71 yards, the scoring drive for Carroll. They only take 1:46 off the clock as they go back up by 10 over the explosive DeSoto Eagles. Carroll with the 10-point lead of 38-28. Our State Farm stat of the game, Mendy, as we look at the comparison of these 2 quarterbacks.
And as you look at the comparison and you realize Kenny Hill is the best at what he does in the country, but Desmond White, on paper, he's not that far behind. He has 1 more touchdown pass and he has more rushing yards, but the one thing that you have to circle, those 4 rushing touchdowns from Kenny Hill. When he gets close to that end zone, he just becomes a fullback. He gets behind his offensive lineman and he fights forward and he picks up those touchdowns like they're simple. He just becomes a very powerful running back when they get close to the end zone.
And on top of the 4 rushing touchdowns, he adds a touchdown pass just moments ago to Mike Gardner to make it a 10-point lead for Carroll. Ty Cummings set to kick off once again. And DeSoto's receiver takes it at the goal line. Brandon McDowell will return it out to the 20 to the 21-yard line. And McDowell is going to keep going. He refused to go down. So McDowell returns it out to about the 28-yard line. Let's see how McDowell was able to find his way to keep it going.
You just applaud the effort, especially when a wide receiver carries a pile like that. It lets you know that this team, they have a lot of fight in them, and it starts with the coach. A lot of times the team takes on the personality of their coach. In talking to Coach Mathis, it was very evident that he was passionate, and you see DeSoto playing with a lot of passion.
Juan Mathis, winner of a state championship as a player, 2 of them, 1990 and 92 at Class A Bartlett. The pass from Desmond White to McDowell. McDowell, trying to thread his way between 2 Carroll defenders, is knocked down to the 41, but not before he gets a DeSoto first down. Gain of 14. So McDowell was able to make that catch from Desmond White, and I don't know if he saw that one coming.
He wasn't expecting it to be there that quickly, but he was sure-handed even with the surprise.
5 catches, 131 yards for Brandon McDowell. Tremendous day for him so far with the DeSoto Eagles, but a flag down before they could snap this one.
Prior to the snap, ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
DeSoto has been hit with their 8th penalty of the day, Andy.
You talk about coaching, you talk about mistakes, but trust me, as a former player, when your offensive linemen are offside that many times, you put that on the player. A coach can't go out there and tell you the snap count.
Dontre Wilson is still in at running back with that heavily bandaged left leg. Now he goes in motion, and the snap to Desmond White. White comes up in the pocket and tries to get it over to Dontre Wilson, and Ray Crockett tried to make a leaping interception. Crockett with good coverage on that play. The incompletion will bring up a second down. And we see Crockett over there covering Dontre Wilson on the pass from Desmond White. 2nd and 10.
Second down and 15.
2nd and 15, check that. And here's a near side pass, complete to Wilson. Dontre Wilson with that spin move that he made famous on that touchdown play 2 weeks ago against Coppell. But the bad wheel just not allowing him to get separation.
And you know what? I appreciate the effort. You see the spin on the bad wheel. But sooner or later, I would expect Coach Claude Mathis to just get him out of there. Or I would expect that Oregon coach who's on the sideline to run out there and say, hey, this is my guy for the next 4 years. Let's get him out because he's injured.
At the 46 now, 3rd down, a big 3rd down for Desoto, trailing by 10, trying to answer that last Carroll score. Here's a completion from Desmond White, but it's going to be shy of the 1st down. It's caught by Tavares Royal. Royal, a good possession receiver for the Desoto offense, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and I think Desoto will go for it, trailing by 10 with the ball just past midfield.
I think they're going to measure right.
We'll call it about the 48-yard line of Carroll. And it is just a little bit short. So the Raj Mahal eye was right on it.
Now, Coach Mathis has a decision to make. Does he consider this 4th down territory when you take into account the score, the time, and where they are on the field?
Let's see what we have on the spot. DeSoto not happy with where it was spotted as they face a 4th down and very short. You won't see Jeff Lewis here to punt. DeSoto trailing by 10 needs this 1st down at the 4:10 mark of the 3rd quarter. And Dontre Wilson will have enough for the DeSoto 1st down. So Wilson is able to dart his way at the right side. And the chains will come forward as the DeSoto Eagles get the 1st down on a gutty run by Dontre Wilson, who's playing on a heavily bandaged left leg that he injured in the 1st half. Ball now at the 47 of Carroll. 1st and 10 DeSoto, trailing 38-28. Desmond White comes forward. White gets by a defender, still on his feet to the 28-yard line of Carroll. White, the guy who seems to always be able to extend a play. He did it a few times. Watch the block, and that was a good hit to give White that extra space as he got to the 2nd level and gets a DeSoto 1st down. At the 28 of Carroll, 1st and 10 DeSoto. Here's Dontre Wilson, and Wilson on a bad wheel inside the 5. Touchdown, Dontre Wilson. An amazing run on a heavily bandaged leg of 28 yards for the touchdown.
Words won't do that justice. You see the pain that Dontre Wilson is in. I've been sitting here saying that they need to take him out of the game, and he's just showing what type of warrior he is. He's showing how important this game is to him. This is possibly, if they don't win, his last high school game. He has a full ride to one of the premier programs, but he doesn't care about that. All he cares about is taking DeSoto to the semifinals for the 1st time in their history. And I'll tell you, I'm moved watching him play through this injury right now.
Francisco Obregon again for the extra point kick. And it goes through. Our new score, Carroll 38, DeSoto 35. Dontre Wilson with his 1st touchdown of the day, 45 on the season. His 14th touchdown of 20-plus yards on the year. As we watch Dontre Wilson and a very gutty run, ND.
I mean, he's breaking tackles, he's cutting on a dime, and you see him limping while he's running. Oregon, they need to count their blessings for being able to land a guy like this. These are the type of football players you want on your team, you want in your program.
That's the kind of run that gets a team going and gives them confidence and gives them inspiration. to go forward. Desoto closing it once again to a 3-point Carroll lead. Carroll led at the half 24-21. Each team has scored a couple of touchdowns here in the second half. The track meet is underway.
It's underway, but that toughness right there from Dontre Wilson, it needs to rub off on the Desoto defense. The defense, and I've played defense. I understand sometimes you'll see what goes on the offensive side of the ball, and it motivates you. And I'm sure everybody in that defensive huddle understands what he's going through, the type of pain that he's playing with. And let's see if it rubs off on them, and if they could have that momentum shift that they had late in the first half.
Roberto Hernandez will kick off for Desoto. Tanner Jacobs in the deepest of the 3 Carroll receivers. And it will be Jacobson at the 5. Comes forward to the 25, 30, and Jacobson with a nice return for the Dragons. 30 yards on that return by Tanner Jacobson. As we see the replay. Sometimes the best place to go is right up the middle.
Yes, it is.
And Jacobson gives Carroll good field position out of the 35-yard line. The Carroll offense comes back on the field with quarterback Kenny Hill, who has run for 4 and passed for 1 today. 38-35 Carroll, 3:33 to play, third quarter. We're just getting started here, man. Here's A.J. Ezzard, the junior, on the handoff. Ezzard gets it out to the 36, so a gain of only 1. 2nd and 9 for Carroll. The defensive end, Dorian Yearby, with the hit. The Desoto Eagles. So the Carroll Dragons with Kenny Hill in the shotgun. Has to break the pocket. He's being contained, and now he passes incomplete. Oh, no, it's incomplete. They say he did not hold on. So Keaton Duhan was unable to make the catch. Let's see how it looked on that far sideline.
Good call. He didn't have complete control while he was in the playing field.
Yeah, he didn't have the possession of at least he was not able to secure the football before he went out of bounds. So a big 3rd and 9. DeSoto defense had a 3 and out in the first half. That was big for their defense near the end of the half. We'll see how they do here as the Carroll offense tries to get the conversion from the 35-yard line. Kenny Hill comes out with a scramble, and Hill's going to be down at the 40-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th down for the Carroll Dragons as the DeSoto defense makes a stand.
And credit Taylor Young with another good open field tackle. When you're talking about Kenny Hill and the yards he's been able to pick up on the ground, and he breaks contain, and he has a chance to pick up the 1st down with his legs, Taylor Young makes a good open field tackle, but Southlake Carroll's going for it.
They're going for it at their own 40-yard line. So Kenny Hill flanked by Stephen Bergmark at the right and A.J. Ezzard on the left. Now Hill will take the snap, and he's going to quick kick. He's done this a couple of times this year for an average of about 27 yards. This one a little bit further. In fact, it takes a good Carroll bounce all the way to the 3-yard line. So DeSoto's going to be backed up against its own goal line. 58 yards on a quick kick by Kenny Hill.
I'll tell you what, that was a very good call by the coach. When you're thinking 4th and 4, 4th and 5 with a player like Kenny Hill.
At your own 40.
You're thinking, even though it's a gutsy call, you're thinking, you know what, they probably are going to go for it, so you don't put a return man back. And now the DeSoto offense has it back against the wall. I think that was a remarkable call by the Southlake Carroll coaching staff.
Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Roger, during that last series, Dontrell Wilson got his offensive unit up off the bench. He said, come on, guys, we got to root on the defense. They did a great job. Defense finally gets a stand here on Southlake Carroll. Right now, Dontrell said, how's the ankle? He gave me a thumbs up. Good to go. He's ready.
Desmond White in his own end zone is going to come out with the keeper, and he'll get out to about the 10-yard line. So a good gain of 7 for Desmond White. Looked like he wanted to, obviously wanted to throw on that play, but had no receivers open. And it sets up a 2nd and 3 for DeSoto at their own 10-yard line. Trailing Carroll by just 3 points down at the end of the third quarter. 1:43 to play in the third. There's White again on the keeper. This time, though, he's going to be knocked down by Jackson Mitchell, the linebacker. Mitchell with great penetration. Actually, that was
Tim Barnhart.
It was Barnhart, yeah, the bandit linebacker.
And what made that a special play, he shed the block, then he made the tackle, and he didn't give up the containment. He understands the speed of the young quarterback, and he made sure he didn't give up the containment.
It's a key third down for Desoto and also for the Carroll defense. Desmond White looking downfield, slips down, and it's going to be intercepted by the Dragons. Intercepted and returned to the 5-yard line as Tanner Jacobson, the safety, with the pick. A huge break for the Carroll defense.
That was the first bad decision by Desmond White. You understand he didn't want to give up the yards as he was slipping, but you have to be able to fight another down. And when you just throw the ball up like that, especially when you have your back against your own goal line, that's a decision you can't make. His first bad decision of the day, but it might cost him good.
White was looking for Ricky Daniels, his clutch receiver in the pattern, but it was picked off by Tanner Jacobson. So it's first and goal for Carroll, just shy of the 5-yard line. Kenny Hill with the snap, and Kenny Hill is going to pound his way into the end zone for his 5th rushing touchdown of the day.
When you talk about pounding his way into his end zone, he didn't just run over any player. That's Taylor Young, the linebacker we've been talking about all day. The linebacker that's popped him a few times. He puts his shoulder down and he runs through Taylor Young, the very good linebacker, to get into the end zone.
Carroll up by 9 with 54 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter as Drew Brown comes in for the extra point. And the kick by Brown is true. And the Carroll Dragons are back up by 10, 45-35 with 54 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, if Desmond White had a chance to do it again, he would take the lost yards on that play. You don't want to give the ball to Southlake Carroll that close to the end zone.
Well, here's the big play by the Carroll defense, ND.
And this is more a mistake from Desmond White. I mean, he throws the ball right to the defender. Good job securing and catching the interception.
And Kenny Hill on the first play from scrimmage after the Tanner Jacobson interception runs it in for his 5th score of the day. Kenny Hill with 5 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass. He has accounted for 6 touchdowns today. And you see the numbers, LD, 13 of 25 passing for 265 yards, 66 rushing yards, but 5, count them, 5 scores.
Like I said, when he's that close to the end zone, he just turns into a fullback. Everybody in the stadium knew that he was going to get the call, but it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to stop it. And when you're going against a talent like that, it's easier said than done stopping him.
So Kenny Hill today with 5 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass means that he has accounted for 60 total touchdowns in 14 ball games. And this game isn't over yet.
It's not over. And I would not be surprised if he has a couple more touchdowns before it's all said and done.
Well, Desoto's been able to answer each of the Carroll touchdowns here in the 2nd half so far. They'll try to do so again. Ty Cummings will kick it off. Brandon McDowell will take it at the 2. McDowell comes out to the 10 to the 15. McDowell with a good return near side. He gets a block, and he's going to race out to the 45. A flag is down behind him, though. A flag back at the 34. Good return there by Brandon McDowell, but again, a flag is down.
Yeah, typically when there's a flag down on kickoff returns, especially on big returns, it's on the return team. So we'll wait and see what the ref has to say.
44 yards on that return, by the way, by Brandon McDowell.
During the return, holding. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
9th penalty of the game for the DeSoto Eagles. The flags are really hurting the Eagles as we see the Brandon McDowell return. So McDowell run out of bounds there. 44 yards on the return, but it's brought back on the hold. DeSoto's Eagles will have it at their own 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Trailing 45-35. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter at SMU's Ford Stadium. Quarterfinals of 5A Division I. The pass by Desmond White. It's caught by Dontre Wilson, and Wilson is going to score. Touchdown play of 76 yards.
Is it me, or is it after every penalty they have a big play? Maybe that might have to be the strategy, but all jokes aside, this has been a heroic effort by Dontre Wilson.
Dontre Wilson on a heavily bandaged left leg, a 28-yard touchdown run, now a 76-yard touchdown catch from Desmond White. Once again, DeSoto's Eagles are within a point of making it a 3-point game with the defending champ Carroll Dragons.
Talk about redemption. You throw an interception one play, then your first play next series, you throw that touchdown.
Francisco Obregon with the kick. And let's watch another amazing play by Dontre Wilson and his quarterback, Desmond White. Darian Jones just couldn't catch him.
Couldn't catch him, and what's amazing, he's still limping. We understand he's one of the fastest players in the state. He's part of that state champion 4x100 relay team. But
and Desmond White, you think he's not happy?
He needed that. He's back in it. Now it's time for DeSoto's defense to step up. They're going to have to bring out Southlake Carroll's punter. If that's how you play with a bad ankle, then I'm going to twist my ankle on the way out of here, because I need to have that kind of production in my life.
DeSoto's Eagles, after leading early in this game, remember they scored on that opening drive of 80 yards to lead 6-0. They were unable to convert the 2-point conversion. That's been their only lead of the game. They've been playing catch-up ever since. They're within 3 now, with Carroll leading 45-42 as DeSoto gets ready to kick off. So each team has scored 3 touchdowns here in the third quarter. Carroll, each time they scored, DeSoto answered. 3 for 3, but it's still a Carroll lead of 3. It's Mike Gardner with the receiving the short kickoff. He is down at about the 26-yard line, so Carroll will have it 1st and 10 in the final 30 seconds of the third quarter, leading 45-42.
It's going to be very interesting. I've been saying it time and time again, but neither one of these defenses are really stepping up. This has been a game of big plays. Southlake Carroll's been able to put together some drives, but mainly DeSoto, they'll hit you with a quick strike, big play like we've just seen. But right now, their defense is going to have to step up and stop this quarterback. They have to find an answer to getting their punter out there, because right now Kenny Hill has just been dominating the DeSoto defense.
5 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass for Hill, but DeSoto has been nearly equal to the task. They're down by 3. Here's Hill on the keeper. Hill trying to get outside, and he's going to be knocked down to about the 30s. So a gain of 4. Let's go to Jim Knox.
Thank you, Roger. Sidelines here at DeSoto. Momentum has shifted over here. Also, Chris Lacey on the ground, the wide receiver at DeSoto. As I mentioned earlier, unseasonably warm here on the turf. Cramps are starting to settle in.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a cool day early on this morning with some fog, but that burned off. Turned out to be a pretty nice afternoon for quarterfinal football here in the Texas high school playoffs. It's the end of the third quarter with Carroll leading 45-42. Dontre Wilson, 28 yards, and the bad wheel, the heavily bandaged left leg. Didn't look like he would come back from having that ice at the end of the first half, but 28-yard touchdown run as we see here, and a 76-yard touchdown catch moments ago from Desmond White to make it a 3-point game. But Carroll's offense back on the field as we begin the fourth quarter. Second down play as Kenny Hill powers his way across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. And that'll set up a third down. Third down 3 for Carroll, leading by 3. Hill looks to the sideline for the play. A.J. Ezra, the junior running back, to his left in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Hill looking downfield. The pass is caught by Weigel for a Carroll first down. Nice toss there by Kenny Hill.
And the defender, he was going for the interception, pick six. I'm not sure who that was. If he stayed with his man, I feel like he would have been able to defend the pass better, but it was looking like he was going for the pick six.
Ball at the 40, A.J. Ezzard with an opening at the right side. Ezzard across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Carroll finding a little bit more room for their running game here in the second half. Of course, Kenny Hill with the 5 touchdown runs. Here's Ezzard again at the right side. Ezzard leaps out toward midfield. He's going to be shy by a yard. So 3rd and 1 as Carroll playing the hurry up. As Coach Hal Wasson told me earlier this week, we like to put the ball down and snap it. Just keep it going. The offensive linemen have to hurry up each time after each play to get in place. Kenny Hill, though, is going to be stacked up on this play. And that's going to bring up what should be a 4th down. I don't think he had enough momentum. They're going to keep it right there at the 49. So 4th and 1. Big 4th down here for the Desoto defense. As Carroll leads by 3, 45-42. First possession of the 4th quarter, and they face a 4th down 1.
This is a huge play. It looks like they're going to call a timeout and discuss it.
Carroll was about to line up with a couple of running backs there in the shotgun. And it looks like Desoto wanted the timeout and got it. So Desoto will discuss this one as they face a 4th down 1. Carroll with a 4th and 1 at their own 49-yard line.
And this is tough. This is where Desoto, obviously you don't want to get reckless with your play calling, but if you just sit back and play a little too conservative, it'll be an easy 1st down for Southlake Carroll. I wouldn't mind seeing a blitz. You wouldn't mind seeing some line stunts to get your defensive lineman, your front 7 in every single gap. But if they try to play conservative, I think it will be an easy pickup for Southlake Carroll. So it'll be interesting to see what type of play the defensive coordinator comes up with.
And remember, the last time Carroll was in a similar position was when they had a 4th down at their own 40-yard line, and Kenny Hill was able to hit a quick kick of 58 yards.
Yes, if it's any other team, you're expecting a punt right here. But with Southlake Carroll and with the strong running game from the quarterback, you are almost expecting them to go for this 1st down.
Looks like they will go for it. 4th down 1 at the 49. Kenny Hill not getting much push at all.
Last second surge, he may have picked up that 1st down.
Let's see if they give him any kind of movement, and it is across midfield, and it will be enough for a Carroll 1st down.
And it's that second effort surge right there that allowed him to pick up the 1st down.
6'1", 205-pound senior Kenny Hill. Good conversion there for the Carroll Dragon offense. 1st down at midfield now, leading by 3. Under 10 minutes to play in the game. Carroll would not only like to get another score, they'd like to take some time off the clock and keep it away from Desoto. Here's A.J. Ezzard. Ezzard with the carry. Not a whole lot for him there. Gain of nearly 3. So call it 2, 2nd and 8 at the 48 of Desoto. As Carroll nursing a 3-point lead of 45-42. Trying to advance to the semifinals. Of course, Desoto has never been to the semifinals. And they've never won a state football championship. Carroll has won 8 state titles, 3 at the 3A level, 5 at the 5A level. Kenny Hill's pass incomplete, in and out of the hands of A.J. Ezzard. He was looking upfield, trying to turn upfield before he caught the football.
That's right. He took his eyes off the ball before he secured it because he saw all the real estate in front of him. He knew it was going to be a big pickup, but you have to keep your eyes on the ball the entire time.
Tough break for A.J. Ezzard. And now Carroll faces a 3rd and 8 at the 48 of Desoto. Kenny Hill in the shotgun. 3 receivers left and 1 to the right. So they've loaded it with a trips left. Ezzard is the running back to the left of Hill in the shotgun. Carroll taking their time. And it looks like Carroll wants the timeout this time. So Carroll will discuss it as they try to determine what is the best thing for them to do with a 3rd and 8 at the 48 of DeSoto.
Well, this is definitely 4th down territory for Southlake Carroll, so they don't have to pick up the 1st down on this 3rd down. But you get the sense that they understand how important it is for them to get the 1st down. They have to keep this drive going because DeSoto is showing that they could strike at any time.
And I made a mistake when we were talking to Claude Mathis this week. Remember, I mentioned to him the smash mouth game that Carroll played with Trinity last week. And I said, does that lead you to believe you might have a low-scoring game? And Coach Mathis said no.
So he understood what was going to happen.
He said the defenses will have to make some stops at some point, but I fully expect a high-scoring game, and he was right.
He was definitely right. And this has been a pleasant surprise after the injury to some key players for DeSoto, mainly Dontre Wilson. It felt like Southlake Carroll was just going to dominate, but there's no quit in the DeSoto.
45-42, Carroll lead. They're back on the field after the timeout. The Carroll offense faces a 3rd and 8 from 48 of DeSoto. Kenny Hill in the shotgun. Carroll has an unusual thing of where they put 4 players out on the field and then they go back to the sideline. Kenny Hill is going to be chased, but Hill was able to break the pocket and get it across the 45 to about the 44-yard line. He's going to be short of the 1st down. As we see Kenny Hill stepping over 1 defender, but unable to get enough for the 1st down. Ball at the 44 of DeSoto. 4th down 4. See if Carroll goes for it or has Hill. Quick kick as he did earlier. He's going to go for it as Hill will throw it. And it is broken up. The ball will go over on downs as Ricky Daniels breaks it up in front of the intended receiver, Mike Gardner. Daniels with the pass breakup, and DeSoto will have it in fantastic field position at the 44, at their own 44-yard line.
And Roger, that's that defensive play you were just referring to when you talked about Coach Mathis knew this was going to be a high-scoring game, but eventually somebody from his defense was going to have to make a play. That might be the play DeSoto needed to get ahead for, what, the first time since the first score of the game.
Mike Gardner was wanting a flag, the intended receiver for Carroll. He didn't get it. Ricky Daniels with the breakup. And Desmond White and the DeSoto offense back on the field with the 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. After the fake to Dontre Wilson, they throw it out to Wilson, and he is blown up back at the 39-yard line, and the ball comes out, and Carroll will have it. Nash Dickey, the nose tackle.
And are they saying it was a fumble?
We'll see what the ruling is, but Desmond White, the quarterback, tried to set up a screen on that far sideline, and now Hal Wasson being told, get out of the officials' huddle. The officials want to discuss this one. One of the officials said it was an incomplete pass, and we'll see if his argument is heard.
The pass has been ruled incomplete.
Coach Hal Wasson wants an explanation, and he's getting one from the referee, but here's a look at it, LD. Yeah, he didn't secure that football at all.
No, he never had possession.
Never pulled it in.
Right, he never had possession of that ball. So that was a good call by the refs. And even though it took them time to get it right, they came up with the right decision.
Well, it was a good hit by Tim Barnhart, the linebacker, and picked up by the nose guard, Nash Dickey. But incomplete is the call. So 2nd and 10 for DeSoto at their own 44-yard line. We're at the 8-minute, 8-second mark of the 4th quarter. DeSoto down by 3. Desmond White will keep. White finds a space. White to the 30, to the 25. Desmond White again extending the play for the DeSoto offense for a big run and a DeSoto 1st down.
This is a designed run, and you see why they call it. He has vision, he has speed, and he always takes care of the ball. Desmond White is opening a lot of eyes for the viewers. We all have heard about Kenny Hill. We all have heard about Wilson, but Desmond White is also a big-time Texas player.
40 yards on that carry. Here's White again on the carry with the shotgun snap on the first down play.
This is an amazing game. Just when you think one team is going to take control, the momentum shifts and they take advantage of it. This is what Texas high school football playoffs are all about.
Ball now at the 13 of Carroll, 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain by Desmond White. Tavares Royal comes in as one of the broken up. Well, that was a nicely timed with the safety, Tanner Jacobson. Jacobson playing that center field free safety. Got a nice beat on the football.
Jacobson looks like he didn't realize how early he was there. If he went with 2 hands, he might still be running the other direction.
Desmond White tried to get it to Dontre Wilson on that play, but a good breakup by Tanner Jacobson. 3rd down 7. This is a big 3rd down for Desoto, trailing by 3 with 7:21 to play in the game. White with the snap. Looking, it is complete to Ricky Daniels, and Ricky Daniels with a touchdown play at 13 yards. And Desoto back in front for the first time since early in the game.
And Desmond White continuing to show that he can sit in the pocket and get the yards throwing the ball. This is not a guy that's just an athletic quarterback who's lined up at the quarterback position so he can run. He can actually throw the ball. He's thrown some lasers. He's thrown some touch passes. He's shown accuracy while he's throwing on the run. This Desmond White is a very good quarterback.
Desoto looking to add to the lead. Obregon with the kick. Our new score, DeSoto 49-45 over Carroll at SMU's Ford Stadium.
Recently.
Enjoy great savings on the freshest lineup. Ford is the best in Texas.
Roger, I love defense as much as anybody, but I'm not going to lie to you. I've been very entertained watching this game. I mean, these touchdowns have been amazing.
Here's the Desmond White pass to Ricky Daniels. Good coverage there by Zach White, the cornerback, but Daniels was able to get inside of him, make the catch. And the DeSoto Eagles are back in front for the first time since the opening drive of the game when they drove 80 yards to take a 6-0 lead. Here's the short kick caught on the fair catch at the 25-yard line. Did you see Desmond White? Very happy with his touchdown pass to Ricky Daniels. That was a 5-play, 55-yard march with 1:05 off the clock for the DeSoto Eagles. 49-45 now, DeSoto. Carroll Dragons, the defending champs in 5A Division I, down by 4 with 7:15 to play in the game as Kenny Hill has his team back on the field. Carroll lost their opening game of the season to Allen 24-0 at the new Eagle Stadium. They've clicked off 12 wins since then, trying to get to a semifinal as A.J. Ezzard, the junior, with the handoff on the first down play. Out to the 27. Gain of nearly 4. Call it 2nd and 7. So a gain of 3 for the Carroll Dragons, who are down by 4. Trying to answer DeSoto for the first time in the second half. It was Carroll scoring first each time, and DeSoto answering them throughout this first half. Here's the Kenny Hill pass complete. Ryan Weigel with the catch over the middle. Out to the 45. It's a Carroll first down.
What was impressive about that, he wasn't too conservative. He had a shallow route that was wide open, but he decided to go for the wide receiver that was covered, but was running a long route because he had confidence in his arm.
On the first down play, Kenny Hill keeping almost to midfield. Carroll is very good at this up-tempo offense, as is Desoto. Kenny Hill with a bit more experience doing it than his counterpart, Desmond White. White, of course, a junior, Hill a senior. At the 49, second down 6 after the 4-yard run by Kenny Hill. He has 5 touchdown runs today and a touchdown pass. But his Carroll Dragons trail DeSoto 49-45. Under 6 minutes to play in the game. Hill's going to keep it the right side this time, and he gets an opening. Down to about the 44-yard line of DeSoto. So enough for a Carroll first down.
And that's what makes this offense so potent. They can beat you with a run, with the pass, and even though they don't get in the huddle, they still can take time off the clock because they meticulously get down the field.
Hill in the shotgun. Keeping again at the right side. About the 41-yard line as a flag goes down. Flag in the secondary. So the clock stopped at 5:36 remaining in the game at SMU's Ford Stadium. 5A Division I quarterfinals.
Substitution infraction. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And you see the DeSoto player unable to get off the field in time. So DeSoto has been penalized indeed 10 times now for 73 yards.
And that's what Coach Mathis said before the game when we talked to him during the week. That's what could not happen. But right now they're still holding on to a 3-point lead.
1st and 5 for Carroll after that penalty at the 40 of DeSoto. 5:26 clock running here remaining in the game. Carroll down by 4 to DeSoto. A.J. Ezri, the junior, fumbles, and DeSoto pounces on it. The DeSoto Eagles have the football. And it looks like it's the big play safety, Nick Orr, with the fumble recovery, the first turnover of the game for the Carroll Dragons. And it's a crucial one as Nick Orr comes up with the football. So A.J. Ezard couldn't hold on to it on that run through the middle. You see the zone read handoff.
And it looks like the ball popped out before he even took any contact. But it's a better angle right here. Great job by the camera crew. That ball popped out before he was hit. You know, you talk about when you're going into traffic, putting 2 arms all around that ball.
So it has it at the 28-yard line as Dontre Wilson with the carry. 1 turnover on the day for Carroll, but how costly will it be for them? The defending champs trailing by 4 with under 5 minutes to play. DeSoto would like to play some keep away now. They can score it in a hurry, but that's probably not what they're looking to do here. They'd like to play keep away from an explosive Carroll Dragon team. At the 35-yard line, 3rd down and 3. Desmond White,
another penalty,
will get a flag.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So a crucial penalty goes against DeSoto. Instead of a 3rd and 3, they'll have a 3rd and 8 at their own 30-yard line. 4:35 to play in the game. DeSoto leading by 4, 49-45. Desmond White with the shotgun snap being chased on a blitz. And his pass is caught by Dontre Wilson at the 39 of Carroll. Tanner Jacobson with the tackle, but Dontre Wilson continues to amaze with that bandaged left leg.
Roger, I can't say enough about Dontre Wilson.
And how about Desmond White with the pass?
And again, this is injured. This isn't showmanship. This isn't some Hollywood where he's limping around so people will feel sorry. This guy is injured. He taped it up. And you understand what the playoffs mean to Dontre Wilson, to Desmond White, to that entire DeSoto football team. They want to go to their first semifinal game. Understatement of the day.
At the 39 of Carroll, Dontre Wilson is keeping. This time he is upended by Tanner Jacobson. Let's take a look at that last pitch and catch from Desmond White to Dontre Wilson.
And the way Desmond White keeps plays going. This is a good blitz. The defender did the right thing. He went for the upfield shoulder, but Desmond White is so athletic. He's so aware of his pocket presence. He escapes, and he continues to throw those accurate passes while he's running. This is a big-time performance by Desmond White.
That was a 37-yard pass play from Desmond White to Dontre Wilson. 14 rushes for Wilson on the day, 79 yards and a touchdown. Here's Desmond White on the keeper after the fake to Wilson. White runs it down to the 31 of Carroll. Clock becoming important now to the Carroll Dragons, who trail by 4. 3 minutes to play in the game. Desoto continuing to play up tempo. Nothing there as a 4th down will come up now for the Eagles. And now the question is, what do you do?
That's the biggest concern with the style of offense Desoto and Southlake Carroll. With the way they run, they're not made, they don't understand, they don't practice running out the clock. Now they have a big decision to make, and if they don't get this first down, there's going to be plenty of time for Kenny Hill to get his team and march down the field.
So we're down to under 2:25 to play as the play clock is being brought down all the way.
It'll be a timeout.
And Desoto, well, each team has 2 timeouts left, but here the timeout is going to go to the Desoto Eagles.
You almost have to go for the first down.
Yeah, you don't want to give it back to Carroll, that's for sure. Desoto leading by 4, 49-45, with 2:14 to play in the game. Desoto trying to get to their first semifinal. As we look at Desmond White. Desmond White of the Desoto Eagles, some of his big plays on the day. He's got some wheels, doesn't he, ND?
He's got wheels, and he also has it between the ears. He knows when to make the decision to run. He's not a guy that thinks run first, pass second. He waits till all his options are gone before he decides to run. But then when he does run, it's just as good as a designed run play because he picks up so many yards on the ground.
Well, a big play for both teams here. 4th down for Desoto. 4th and 2 at the Carroll 32-yard line. Carroll trailing by 4, 49-45 with 2 minutes to play in the game. And here's the run.
It's going to come down to the spot, Roger.
Desmond White, the quarterback, keeping, and will he have enough forward progress? He had to get it to the 29. They're probably going to have to measure. We will see the change. And we see where it is. Looks like he had a little bit of a surge, but Tanner Jacobson, the safety, was able to pull him back. And he is shy of the first down by, I mean, that looked like about an inch.
We've been saying it all day. This is a game of inches. And that goes to show that this is a game of inches. And credit Tanner Jacobson understanding where he is, understanding the situation, and bringing the momentum back.
Sergio Phillips, his offensive lineman, was trying to carve out more space for Desmond White. Phillips committed to San Diego State. But the ball goes over on downs to the Carroll Dragons. Desoto has 1 timeout left. Carroll has 2. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the game, and Carroll has the football trailing by 4. This is one of those games where the team that has it last could be the team that wins. Here's the Carroll pass from Hill, complete. Caught by Mike Timlin. That's Luke Timian, excuse me. Luke Timian with the catch. Out to the 41, enough for a Carroll first down. The hurry up ensues for the Dragons. Kenny Hill Has to break the pocket. He's going to be down at the 37, so a loss on the play. Good penetration there by the linebacker, Darian Woods. A loss of 4. Carroll with the 2nd and 14 now. Clock very important with 1:33 clock running here in the football game. Carroll down by 4. They need a touchdown. A field goal won't do it for them. Trailing DeSoto by 4. Kenny Hill back to throw. Throws it down the sideline, and it's nearly picked off in and out of the hands of Marquise McNeil, the cornerback.
And if McNeil doesn't slip, that's an interception. He slips, he gathers his feet, but he doesn't gather enough time to set his feet to come up away with the interception.
McNeil got his mitts on it, just couldn't pull it in. 3rd down, 14 for the Carroll Dragons. Kenny Hill looking again to the sideline for the play. A.J. Ezzard, the junior running back who fumbled on the previous possession, to his left. Hill looking to throw, fires it, complete. On that far sideline, it's going to be enough for a Carroll first down. And it looks like it was Timian again. Luke Timian with the catch. As we see Kenny Hill calmly firing it to Timian. And he is right at the stick. They're going to give him the first down at the 49 of DeSoto. 1st and 10 Carroll, down to 1:08 to play in the game. Carroll needs a touchdown, trailing by 4. Kenny Hill running at the right side, but can't turn it upfield as he is knocked out of bounds for no gain.
They do a good job stringing that play out. Right now, the DeSoto defensive linemen, they're tired, they're slow, and I think that's where Southlake Carroll's trying to take advantage of just how depleted that defensive front. That they're tired, and you just see it. You're seeing they're not getting the rush, and eventually Kenny Hill feels like he'll be able to take advantage of that.
So Kenny Hill does lose a yard on the play. 2nd down, 11. Ball at midfield. 1:04 to play in the game. Carroll trailing DeSoto by 4, 49-45. Hill, plenty of time, has to break the pocket. Hill being chased. Now he's going to reverse his field. This could be dangerous for DeSoto. Hill finds his way to the sideline and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Close to the 40-yard line of DeSoto. As we see Kenny Hill improvise a little bit, MD.
We've been talking a lot about Desmond White, but when Kenny Hill was so used to seeing it, this should have been a loss of about 10 yards, but it turns into being a big-time gain. He keeps the drive going, and he keeps hope alive for his team.
That play took 14 seconds to run with all of the scrambling that Kenny Hill did, but he did get it out of bounds. 53 seconds left in the game at the 41 of DeSoto. 3rd down and 2. Kenny Hill on the carry. Looks like he'll have enough for the first down. But again, precious clock time draining. 45-44. Dragons at the line.
There is an official's timeout.
Might have a measurement here. Looks like they might be a little bit short.
But the positive for Southlake Carroll, while they have the official timeout, they get the time and they're not losing a timeout as we see the replay.
And just as DeSoto missed by an inch, the Carroll Dragons are short.
But the difference, Carroll Dragons have one more chance to pick up that first down.
Yeah, but DeSoto missed theirs on a 4th down try. But this is the season for the defending champ Carroll Dragons as they trail DeSoto by 4, 49-45, 44 seconds left, and they have to convert this to keep going what they hope will be a decisive touchdown drive. But first they need this first down. At the 39 of DeSoto, Kenny Hill will keep, and he'll have enough for the first down. He gets it up to about the 36. Clock will stop as the chains come forward. Ball at the 35. . 1 Clock is running again with the first down marker in place. At the 35 of DeSoto.
Taking a lot of time. I'm surprised how much time they're taking up.
Dragons have it first and 10. Hill will probably take a shot downfield. Here's the pass. Ryan Weigel is the intended receiver. A flag goes down. This could be a big call. 18 seconds left in the game. So it was a hold, a defensive hold against the DeSoto defense. Claude Mathis just hoping that his defense can somehow hold on. And we see Kenny Hill looking downfield for Weigel. And no evidence of a hold there, but somewhere on the play it happened. The flag came out, and now Carroll at the 25 of DeSoto with 18 seconds to play, first and 10. They might have time for maybe 2 or 3 more plays. Trailing by 4. Hill with a pass. Caught inside the 5. Caught by Luke Timian. First and goal for the Carroll Dragons. 12 seconds to play in the game.
Another flag, but it looks like it's going to be on the defense.
Carroll Dragons setting themselves up for what could be an amazing ending. The DeSoto defense trying to make a stand. Leading 49-45 over the defending 5A Division I champ Carroll Dragons. Looks like Carroll's going to take one of their 2 remaining timeouts here in the football game. And we'll see Kenny Hill looking for Timian as Luke Timian made an incredible catch on that sideline. The quarterback, Zach White, was right there, but again, a Carroll receiver going up strong with the hands and the positioning of the body to make the catch.
Yes, these Carroll receivers have been making great catches all day. They're really a big part of Kenny Hill's success. They all seem to have the ability to adjust their body in midair. We've seen it time and time again today. And Kenny Hill, I know he gets all the individual awards, but he better make sure he gives credit to those receivers because they've been remarkable today.
Kenny Hill has run for 5 scores and passed for 1 today. He has 12 seconds to get his team in the end zone once again. His longest run today, his longest touchdown run was 6 yards of those 5 touchdown runs that I just mentioned. 12 seconds left in the game. Carroll down by 4, trying to keep their defense of the 5A championship alive. Here's Kenny Hill on the run at the right side. Hill's going to be down at about the 1-yard line on that first and goal play. We're down to 8 seconds, and Carroll wants another timeout, and that'll be their final timeout of the game.
And it'll come down to 1 play to see who goes on to the semifinals. This has been an epic game. You have to credit both sides of the ball, both teams. This has been amazing.
You see Coach Al Wasson immediately calling the timeout, and Claude Mathis on that same play. Mathis told us this week he's been working with the defense quite a bit to try to get them in the right position and to preach to them to do their assignments, to be in the right place. This is a time to do that.
This is the time to do it, and if you're going to gamble on defense, I'm putting all my chips into the bag that says Kenny Hill's going to run it in, and I'm putting every defender on him. And if he throws it, then it's just a mistake by me. But I have to believe that they're going to put in Kenny Hill's hand for the final play of this epic game.
8 seconds left at SMU's Ford Stadium. Carroll winning an epic semifinal game here a year ago in the semifinals over Skyline. They trailed late in that one, got an onside kick, and Kenny Hill ran 35 yards for the winning touchdown in that game. What will happen today in this quarterfinal game? Hill in the shotgun on what may be the final play of the game. Trailing by 4. Hill with the keeper, and Hill gets near the goal line, and no indication. 3 seconds left. Carroll will have another shot.
Do they have another timeout?
But that's the question.
Okay, I misspoke. When I said final play of the game, I was under the assumption that they had already used their last timeout.
And I thought the same. I thought the same, ND. So Hill does not get it across. He stumbled just as he got to the goal line.
What?
Yeah, it's a Desoto timeout. So Carroll did not have any timeouts, but Desoto took theirs.
Roger, I've been hitting the head a few times, so I'm going to ask you on air, what am I missing? If Southlake Carroll doesn't have any timeouts, and that was not 4th down, why would Desoto call a timeout?
Well, Carroll's going to get another shot. With 3 seconds left, Desoto needs a defensive stand, and Carroll needs a push across the goal line to win the football game. Kenny Hill takes it to the goal line, and he is in. No, he didn't make it. And the Desoto Eagles think that they have won this football game.
No signals from the refs here.
No signal. The Desoto Eagles have won the football game. They stopped Kenny Hill at the goal line. The Desoto Eagles are going to the semifinals for the first time in school history. Claude Mathis, who won state championships as a player in 1990 and 92 at Bartlett, went on to a stellar playing career at Southwest Texas State. And you see Kenny Hill, the disappointment, scoring 5 touchdowns on runs today, but unable to get in for a 6th as he was stopped shy of the goal line. Kenny Hill, let's see another angle as Hill was making the push. So the Dragons, the defending 5A Division I state champs, go down to defeat. They trailed only twice all day today, ND, allowing that first drive for a touchdown. And let's go to the winning coach, Claude Mathis, with our Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Roger. Still Bedlam down on the field. Coach, as the seconds clicked off, Kenny Hill trying to get it into the end zone. You guys made one more stop. What was going through your mind?
I told the defense, I can't tell you what I told them, but we did something different on the goal line. We have never done it all year long. We just did it just down there, and those kids did it. They listened to me. I told them what we was going to do, and they freaking did it. I can't tell you what happened, but we did it. First time we ever did it. I've never ran that when they stopped them.
Talk about Dontre Wilson, the job he did. He went into the halftime, iced his left ankle down. He came back, taped it up, and put on one heck of a performance in the second half.
It was God and my trainers. God and my trainers. I'm telling you, my trainers went to work. They was stemming him. I seen they was going to work. I'm not lying, guys. I never talked to Dontre. My trainers go to work. When they go in that locker room, and they deal with my athletes, I have the utmost confidence in those guys. If they're going to get the job done, I leave them alone.
For the first time in DeSoto school history, you're heading to the semifinals. Your thoughts?
We're one game away. We're one game away.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, guys. One game away.
Roger.
Thank you, Jim Knox and Coach Claude Mathis. Today's fourth player of the game is quarterback Desmond White. What a day he had, ND.
What a day he had. He opened the eyes. The entire state is going to know Desmond White's name. He can do it with his arms. He can do it with his legs. And he's so poised as you look at the numbers. Desmond White, very, very deserving.
376 passing yards, 138 on the ground. An amazing dual threat quarterback for Desmond White. 5'7", 150 pounds, 504 total yards for the little guy, Desmond White.
Little guy, big heart. This guy plays well above his size. And I became a fan of him today, Roger. A fan of the entire Desoto team. This has just been an amazing game, and you have to give credit to Southlake Carroll, the defending state champs. They had a target on their back the entire season, but right now it's Desmond White's time and the Desoto Eagles.
So DeSoto goes to 14-0. Southlake Carroll ends their season at 12-2. They had won 12 straight after a season-opening loss to Allen at the new Eagles Stadium. They click off 12 wins, but they lose here today in the 5A Division I quarterfinals at SMU's Ford Stadium by a final of 49-45. They couldn't get it in the end zone at the end, but a great last-minute, great drive in the final 2 minutes of the game by Kenny Hill, but he just couldn't punch it in. And you see the emotion on the part of the senior Kenny Hill.
And you know what? That goes to show how important football is for high schoolers here in Texas. You know, you look at Kenny Hill, you look at the Gatorade Player of the Year, you look at a guy whose future is so bright. He has a full ride to Texas A&M, but you see the emotion from losing this game. And he already has a championship, but that doesn't matter. It's all about the here and now. And you just see what it means as you see those football players crying while they're talking to their coach. It's special. You know, I had a chance to play high school football in San Antonio, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like it.
So for ND Kalu and Jim Knox, this is Roger Emmerich saying good afternoon from Dallas, where our final score is DeSoto 49, Carroll 45. Remember that all 12 Texas high school championships are on Fox Sports Southwest or FoxSportsSouthwest.com beginning next Saturday with the six-man championships from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. Go to FoxSportsSouthwest.com for a complete scheduled championship game. You've been watching the Texas High School 5A Division I quarterfinals on Fox Sports.
To my tribe, I'm more than a student. I'm an example